This look
We
actually
are
looks like
now.
a... Okay,
Alright.
this actually looks like a bi-directional mic to me because it's got both sides.
I don't know.
Receiver,
Well,
receiver.
I bought it as a just one for doing random recording shit.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes, hello.
I was currently just waiting for us to continuously keep putting ourselves by our own petard.
By
Anywho,
talking
That's
about
not
our
what that means,
microphone.
Michael.
huh?
That's not what that means.
Well, kind of in this case, because like, we might want to keep the stream a bit more okay. So we hear words on the left here, words on the right here.
Oh,
I am stuck in the middle.
Sure.
Anywho,
Sure.
so g'day everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Michael. I'm your DM tonight. We have a few interesting characters being played today, and yes, thank you, Gavin. And anywho, so let's everyone introduce themselves. So I'm Michael. We've got
I'm Ben.
I'm Emma. Hi.
Gavin.
Adam.
And Jessica.
and we have a lovely floor troll right over there.
Corner Gremlin.
Corner
Gremlin.
Corner Gremlin.
God,
I almost...
that's so offensive.
How dare I get
Floor
stuff
troll.
wrong?
Full floor troll. Wow.
Trademark.
You can also put that on your resume.
We love you, Talia.
So you say.
We love you. We love you, Diva knockoff person over there.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Get fucking wrecked, bro.
You're not my friend anymore.
Oh, shit.
A war has been started.
So I'm in a bit of a weird mood tonight, guys. Anywho, so sorry, I didn't mean to offend or anything.
Turn that so you can't see the light.
She will be okay. So we're gonna do the thing in which we play some. Oh yeah, no, yeah, not sponsored. Just by the way.
The only thing you're all sponsoring tonight is the possible deaths of our party members right here.
Yay!
And
Fun.
to think which one is better?
Oh yeah.
What? That or the sponsoring of death?
No.
Just to pick
Party
which one
members.
is better.
They're gonna do some votes. We're gonna do a competition, and they're gonna be voting on who's got the best character.
Yeah. So you guys should like actually introduce your characters.
Oh no,
Alright.
we will. But
will.
like once we actually get into the game.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't we do it now?
Well, I
Alright.
mean, wouldn't it be easier for you to start the introduction first and then?
Alright, fair enough then. Okay, so our adventurers have all woken up to what you notice is a wooden ceiling, you know, sort of in a wood-like building. All of your heads are quite sore and really... Your memory's quite fuzzy. You don't seem to remember what happened last night, but as you look around, you sort of see you're in a tavern,
As they always start.
as you always start, and you're all in your own individual rooms. Now, the only issue about this whole thing is you're going, I went to this, you know, sort of elven city. I may have been given some of the local liquor at the time, and for some weird reason, I now can't remember last night. The other issue is you realize you have no gear as well either.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright.
So,
You all and your puny need for weapons.
See, that right there is sociopathic.
That's not sociopathic.
Anyway.
Yes.
I don't need weapons. They help. They help a lot.
They just help.
but if it means anything, though, you notice that the rooms around you look quite lavish, actually, really nice. Whoever managed to lodge you up for the evening seemed to have done a very good job. Whether or not you don't know if it's with your own money, you don't know yet.
It better not have been.
But anywho, as I've said, you're in your rooms, the door's unlocked and everything, and that's pretty much it for now.
Alright.
I get up and I make my way down to the bar.
Okay.
Shouldn't we actually introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Well, we're in different rooms, aren't we?
No, we're all in the same room.
Oh, we should
Okay.
introduce our
Well,
characters
if
to
you
the
walk
audience.
through and get out to the main sort of, you know, bar area in
I
the
suppose,
tavern,
yeah.
Oh.
then yes, then you all be in the same room.
All
Yeah.
head out to the bar.
Alright. Yep, okay, then I'll just get up and walk to the bar.
Guess we're all going to the bar.
I will stay in my room and try and recall if I can recall anything at all
Roll me a history.
All
Can
right.
I try and see if there's any clues in my room?
That is a natural 1. I do not know anything.
You've even forgotten more than you knew before.
Fair.
I
It's like,
will,
where was I again?
Yeah.
Am I in an inn?
What gender was I again?
I will.
Oh, that.
Oh, right.
Right.
I'm gonna. If you would allow me, I'd also roll a history to see if I can remember it.
Sure.
That's a 15.
Still very fuzzy. You don't know quite how it's not coming to you, but you do get flashes of walking through a very nice, pretty looking area. Flashes of green and orange and blue. You don't quite remember though. But you do recall quite a tangy taste in your mouth, as if maybe the drink you've had before, you know, as I mentioned, is quite peculiar.
I was drugged. They will pay dearly for this.
Drugged.
Yeah. I'm. After that, I'm just gonna go to the main bar area.
So when
Me
you
and my hulking figure.
and you can also did you give it a crack as well? I'm a bit.
No.
Give it a go. Because you wanted to investigate, didn't you?
I was investigating my room, see if I can find anything around it.
Sure. Roll me investigation.
Hang on. Where's my dice? I have to get the specific dice. So investigation. 16.
You don't find any of your things, but you do find a note.
A note.
Yeah, it simply says, if you're reading this, then you've probably woken up. You're in a bit of bad ways, and I didn't trust you with your own equipment in my inn. Come grab him from the front.
Wow.
Sign G.
Dick.
I go out to the front desk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say come cover from the front, and it's an inn, so the front desk is most likely the bar.
Yeah.
Where,
So
where
I go
both
down.
Andromache
Yeah.
and I have gone.
Anyway, but yeah, I go do
I'll
that.
probably make my way down to my room since I can't remember anything.
So when you make it to the
Old
main...
age.
So when you make it to the main bar area, you notice that you're sort of on a 2-floor kind of inn. It's really nice wood. You notice that there's lots of sort of bar stools and tables and things lying around. However, despite the fact it's so big, you only notice one staff member out front, which seems to be quite a slender-looking man. He's sort of like a tanned kind of complexion, green hair, blue eyes. He sort of looks at you all, and he notices the first one sort of walking up, so who was out first, I'd say. He goes, "Oh, you're awake."
So this big burly Goliath woman with a white mohawk that goes over the top of her head, and she's got beads of bone braided into her hair with feathers on the end of it, and wearing furs that cover her body. Walks up to him and she's like, "Hello."
Hello again.
I remember nothing from last night.
Wouldn't
How did I get here?
Wouldn't surprise me. You tried some of the Eldrin Ale. That stuff usually goes through people quite hard.
I remember nothing of this.
Well, that's what happened. Someone from the Elven Kingdom over there, apparently you're part of a royal party at the moment. You went out to a soiree of sorts. I heard the story. You apparently tried your first glass of the stuff, which any person who hasn't had exposure to it usually falls flat on the ass the first instant they try it.
She looks very confused. Can I roll a history to see if she can remember any of this?
Sure, try.
That's a 9.
You sort of get bits and pieces. You do remember a big, glorious battle yesterday. Essentially, you had to fight back some drow who were trying to come up from sort of an Underdark-based area. Of an entrance that, weird enough, emerged pretty close to outside of the Elven Kingdom here. After winning, they held a massive banquet in your honor. And essentially what happened was, as he said, you saw them all drinking what looked to be a very nice pitcher of alcohol and that sort of thing. And being the person you are, you thought, oh, I want to have a try of that, despite countless warnings.
Where are my weapons?
I held on to them. You were all a bit sloppy last night, and I couldn't exactly risk you demolishing my inn.
This is a grave offense. May I have them back?
You most certainly can. He hands you your equipment back and everything. You notice nothing's been taken. Even
She
your
looks it over very carefully.
nothing's been taken or stolen.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Now, I bet you're wondering where you are exactly.
Yes.
You see, I'm running in through somewhere which I don't know if you've been here before, called the Cronus Forest. Stuck in the Feywilds, you see. And you're taken here essentially of your to be looked after and everything. And essentially what happened was one of the royal guards came in, said you're all creating a commotion after drinking. He said about 4 or 5 of those things I talked about before. And you're on very bad ways, so I offered free lodging here on the condition that you didn't have your weapons on you when you woke up.
I see. That's what she says. Woman of very few words.
Now I'm assuming that hopefully the rest of your companions are awake, because quite bluntly put, I would like you out of my inn as soon as possible.
What do we do?
Alright, so I'm guessing we come down by this point.
Oh, you're all finally awake.
Well, I'll probably
And
come
I'll
down
just
last.
Yeah.
say
I
out
guess
loud,
second, or
what
second.
was that foul liquid that erases minds?
Ultra nail.
I will never touch a soft skin drink.
Soft skin drink. What would you say a hard skin drink is? We have it here at the bar, probably.
The nectar of the marsh bug.
Can you say it in common?
Nectar of the marsh bug.
Fine, can you say it in Elven for me?
No.
Say it in a language I understand. I don't quite know what you're trying to ask of me right now.
What?
He just hands you a beer.
And I'll toss it behind me.
He is a lizard folk after all.
Nectar of the marsh bug. I'll see if I have anything like that back here. He hands you what he thinks you're trying to say.
What is it?
He just grabs one random bottle out and hands you what looks to be some basically dragon ale or something like that. Dragon
I'll
whiskey.
just grab it by the neck and slam it on the bar.
Well, actually, technically, that's also scaly.
Can I try to catch that bottle before he slams it on the bar? Because that is a waste of good alcohol.
He's already wasted some ale.
Alright, roll me an opposed dex essentially, or a sleight of hand if you have any of the two.
Can I
Alright.
see if I've heard of what he's
just straight
talking about?
dex.
Sure.
So that's an 11.
Roll me a history.
11 on
I'll
dex.
the same. I wanted the same because I've actually been rolling. I do not.
So you got a 10,
I
you got
got-
an
I got
11.
I got 11.
I got a 13 to know if I know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, I'm gonna give it to you because even I don't know what the hell you're talking about out of game.
It's basically it's the nectar of a particular.
He comes from a fucking tribe that lives in a swamp.
To be fair, I don't know if you're doing some idiom for an alcohol lying around or something in D&D I hadn't
It's
heard
an
of.
actual.
It's an actual thing that lizard folk drink.
Okay.
They have particular bugs that they grow in their swamp, and they basically squish them up and
Fair enough.
ferment them. And
I don't know much about lizard folks, guys, outside of
that's
things.
But
They
no.
don't really venture into civilization.
So he says, I don't think I have what you are after, I'm afraid.
But yeah.
I wasn't asking for any of your soft skin drinks.
I meant the bug thing, I don't think I have it.
He wasn't even asking for a drink.
What?
He was just saying that.
Oh, he was just saying some random shit.
Yeah, he was just saying he doesn't drink soft skin drinks.
And then just randomly started talking about nectar of the
And then you asked, what does he drink?
He hands you water instead. Does he take that? Does he throw it back?
Well, I mean, I suppose he would drink the water.
But yeah. And Ramesh kind of.
You insult me, elf.
I'm actually a half elf, and now you insult me.
You soft skins are all the
let's-
same.
Let's just. So why are we?
I want to see this pair fight. Whoever comes out the strongest, I want to battle.
Let's not do that, please.
I agree. I don't want any damage to my bar.
It would be a waste of time, I would think. They both seem so very weak.
You're both pansies.
And probably that time my
So-
character will walk down slowly.
We.
I
Someone
mean,
rubbing his head.
to be fair, my character's used to.
He just
being-
turns to these two
I-
characters and go, "Welcome, you two. Tell me."
I got the note.
Ah, yes. He hands you essentially your gear as well and
Thank you.
everything. And you notice everything's out, sort of back in order. It looks like it's been polished a bit.
Thank you
That
very
sort of
much.
thing. And he goes, "Anyway, I'm assuming you're all travelers, aren't you? Of
Yes.
sorts.
Of a sort.
Well, I may have a job. If anyone's interested.
Depends on the job.
Well, you see, in the Feyfrost over there's been a bit of a infestation of undead. And I kind of need them gone. It's
Undead
bad
in
for
the
business.
Fey Forest?
I know, it's really weird, isn't it?
Alright. So
It
let's
is
see.
strange.
What is it? I'll have to these. This is a new thing for me, so to get the thing out.
A new what?
A
Okay.
new class, completely new class.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
Gremlin, what are you doing?
The corner gremlin is doing gremlin
Is that
things.
my wig cat?
Maybe.
Why are you wearing my wig cap?
I found it on the floor.
I need to take a photo of you.
Do
and
you
post it
just
on the
put
Twitter.
on anything you just find lying around?
I mean, usually.
I need to take a photo of you right now and
Ask
put it on
that
Twitter
question.
and
What
label
kind of
it with
answer were
what
you
our corner
expecting?
gremlin gets on up to in the middle of our games.
He goes, yes, well, about a month ago, some of these things basically came into the forest. I don't know how they got there. Don't know what forced them here. The only issue is, now, as you notice, I'm probably one of the only buildings really in this clearing for quite a while. And it's really bad for business.
It is
And-
very strange that undead seem to enter into the forest. They usually reside in swampland and mountainsides.
Are they strong?
They
Well,
can
They're
be.
undead.
They can be strong. Depends on their bloodline,
I will slay them all in glorious battle.
and they'll
I
probably
like you.
they'll probably end up slaying you first. When in case of a vampire, you have to think logically. They are clever. They are cunning.
I break enough of its bones and it won't be so clever.
You seem the most reasonable one of the lot.
I'll just shake my head at this guy.
Now, usually, we've had sort of I've had a bounty of sorts, or, a reward for this to be done for me.
It matters not for the reward, as long as I can bring safety to people I care about. I will agree to your trek.
Honorable.
He sort of just smiles and goes, alright then I suppose if you're doing it pro bono, that's going to be very good for me. I've kind of lost a fair bit of money out of this whole thing.
Well, if you need help, then you need help.
Now,
Before we continue, what is it that you were offering?
what was it I was offering? Oh, I was offering about 2,000 gold pieces between you folk, but if he said for free and pro bono, I'm willing to take that.
Gold means nothing.
I will.
Soft metal.
I will render my.
Like this guy.
I will render my
Can I just
aid.
give you a point of inspiration now? I think this is an interesting party indeed.
I will render my aid for 1/4 of that. All of it going as a tithe to the Temple of Tempest, the god of war.
Roll on persuasion.
16.
A fifth, and the rest goes to Tempest, and you have a deal.
Barbarian doing math. This is new.
He does have an int of 11. So
Oh, he's smarter than mine.
Yeah.
it's like I will accept your offer.
Good, when we have an accord. Now, the only issue is the forest in there can be quite tricky. People are known to get lost for ages, essentially, and time, as you would know, moves very slowly.
I am versed well
Or
in...
fast. It really depends.
I'm versed well in forest travel. I've been through many. In
You've
my
been through
times.
many Fey forests, though.
Yes.
Oh, well, then hopefully your sense of tracking and experience will get these people through.
Oh, I hope it will too.
And if all else fails, well, perhaps I can speak with the nature of the area.
I certainly wish you the best of luck with that. They've been in hiding since this infestation.
I'm sure.
Except for the odd wolf and giant.
Oh,
I'm sure I could
I'm
help.
sure I can get along with a giant.
I could also get along with a giant.
How the hell did a giant get into the Feywild?
And how did
giants.
undead get into the Feywild?
Easily.
Well, some storm giants do like really far-flung places. And the Feywild is pretty far-flung, even for firestorm giants. Because if they really want to be alone, they'll go somewhere where no other giant will go. And the Feywild is one of those places.
Yeah. But if negotiating with this giant does not help, I'm more than willing to kill it.
Whoever said anything about negotiation?
He turns to you and says, as long as it's not near my tavern, then sure, however you wish to do it. Although I'd probably warn trying to go against it, because the last few who have... I've heard stories of people passing through here, companions who have tried to take one on. There's not much of them left, essentially.
Clearly weaklings.
Okay.
Inferior warriors.
I like you too.
You guys are interesting.
Translation for get me out of this party.
May I have my equipment back, please, sir?
I've already given it to you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Because you didn't say that you gave everyone their equipment back. I know you gave...
Andromache got hers
Andromache
back.
got her back.
He
got
hands
hers
you back your equipment. Hands back everyone's equipment.
Yeah, so I'll probably I'll lay it out, make sure that the two long swords are clean, the heavy crossbow was
Again,
well
they look like
polished.
they've been polished and well kept.
Put the mole that I have on my back. It's just a normal everyday mole.
Yeah, I've got my,
Javelins in the quiver, hand axes on the side.
I've got
and
my
then I'll
halberd.
begin to
So I'll just
put
sling,
on my gauntlets.
I'll sling my heavy crossbow across my shoulder. I get the two long swords, put in the cease on the back of
Gauntlets and
my.
lightweights.
He says, anyway, you'll find the entrance to the woods to the south. Only about 50 feet that way.
It's like, thank you, sir. May I have your name?
My name is Guy.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. I'm
No.
Alana.
Alana.
Yes.
Alana, okay. Interesting,
Elena.
interesting.
Elena. However you want to pronounce it.
Oh yeah, however you want to pronounce it.
Elena, just... You look to be of a peculiar kind. Are you a half-elf as well by any chance?
Yes, I'm half Eladrin.
Oh, which season?
Well,
Spring.
they change.
Spring. No, the new one they have
They don't,
fixed season.
Actually, they do win the new one.
In the new one, they
Oh,
change.
okay.
The
Oh, is
old
it?
one is fixed. The
The-
new one changes.
The old
seasons.
one changes as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I thought it was the new one that got brought out. Was they had a fixed season?
They made it just
Long rest. You change
Yeah.
seasons.
Okay.
I don't know.
If you wish to change the season.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
if
It
you
was.
wish.
So what season are you currently?
Spring.
Spring. Fair enough.
Yes, it's interesting to find another really rare kind of that out here.
So it was lovely to see you as well.
Indeed. Anywho, it was nice meeting you all. Now, here's hoping you don't bring any of what's in the forest back here, for I will not be taking any leftovers of them, or any alive ones that may try to kill me. Now, if you wish, he points back there and says, I wish you all safe travels.
just
This one wishes you safe journeys as well.
Good business.
Thank you.
Walks out.
I just give him a nod and I just walk out slowly.
I follow them as well.
also bow and leave.
Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to do really quick, because I did say I'd do this, is I'm going to see if it's night or day, because that will determine something that may happen.
Fun.
Yeah, we're dealing with the summer court or the global court. Told you.
That's not exactly what's going to be happening. You walk outside, you notice it's nighttime. It's dark.
Great.
You managed to sleep through the day. It must have been one heck of a hangover. Or a lot of really strong stuff.
Is he walking through the camera?
You notice that there are two what look to be torches, sort of to the south, as you said, indicating sort of an opening to like what looks to be the forest. There's a clear sign, basically, it's the entrance. Come at your own peril, essentially.
Well, as soon as I exit, I will go perception check.
Sure.
That's what my character is good at. So that is an 18.
18. What are you trying to find?
Just looking for any possible activity and everything. So if it's safe to head on further into the forest.
You notice that this particular grove opening is very much safe, but you do notice there are 5 torches though. In in your equipment, you all notice that you're given a torch, and a little note says you may need this.
Well, I will take one of the torches and just hold it up, and I'll draw out my silvered longsword, and I'll prepare to venture into the forest carefully, very carefully, and also roll stealth as well.
Sure. Roll your stealth.
That is terrible. That is 18.
That's not terrible.
That's not
Terrible for my character.
I suppose if he's got expertise in stealth roll, really good stealth roll.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's fine because I have a torch. So.
Wise, shadows is to the benefit. And I'll just roll
Stealth?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll your stealth.
Alright. That is a 15.
Okay.
My character isn't actually going to seem to draw any weapons, even though he's got a pretty big maul on his back, javelins and hand axes. He's not gonna.
Are you trying to stealth? Or you're gonna walk straight
Oh
forward?
no, I'm stealthing, and I roll a 14.
Okay.
That's a 17 on stealth.
I was only asking because when someone usually goes, "I've got my weapon to everything," I usually assume, "Oh no, they're going to charge in."
Oh no.
That's just Medrash.
No, he's more temperate than that.
23.
Okay, so you all walk into the forest now, and you notice as you walk back, it seems to darken behind you, and the entrance that you had before seems to disappear.
I'll be actively looking around, just making sure that everything's kosher.
Yeah,
I'm gonna follow this one. He seems to know what
I'm
he's doing.
gonna try and see if I can keep an eye on where we're going as well.
All right then.
You want us to roll survival? Or?
You first walk in, and you notice that you come to essentially what looks to be sort of a big meadow. Well, not big, like 50 by 50. And you notice a north, south, east, and west again. And you also seem to notice that it's pretty clear here. There's nothing really bad going on.
I will still perception check because this is the Feywild. They know about trickery.
Perception check sounds good. Yeah.
It's freaking Feywild.
10.
16.
Great job, me.
24 for perception.
Making perception checks.
You don't really notice anything in the forest per se.
Alright,
you
that's a 28.
But those who got over a 20, both you do notice, however, that there seems to be a wind that sort of is blowing towards the right opening to you. And essentially, bar that, everywhere else around you looks to be pretty much very similar when you actually look in these 4 sort of kind of trunk-like gateways that seem to be, sort of around.
If I didn't know any better, I would say we were being led towards something.
Yes, I agree.
or away.
That's also a possibility.
I think
This
we
is
should follow it.
this is the Feywild. Everything is tricking us, or trying to get us, or misleading us, or trying to separate
You
us.
said there was wind going to
The
the
right.
right.
I think we should head that way.
You sort of notice
Yeah.
that the flight of your torch or the fire seems to. Does anyone have a torch lit?
I've got my torch lit.
You notice that
I may have dark vision, but I'm
the
still the
flickering of
torch
the fire seems to be, sort of budging a bit towards that right area as it is getting blown. You see some
Yeah.
sparks sort of heading
And I'll
in that
just
direction.
start journeying that way.
Yes.
We'll go that way.
I will follow, but I will cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone.
Pass without trace.
Yeah.
Pass without trace.
Plus 10 to
Actually,
stealth.
I'm going to say I know how to find our foes, and I will be spending a minute to cast Find the Path.
I have
Find
that
the
as
path?
well.
Yep.
Prepared,
Clever.
I believe.
Very clever.
So essentially, that would reveal where you have to go.
Yeah. so
Yeah,
his-
the most direct route to our goal.
Hang on.
You notice
The
that it
spell
does sort of
allows
ping to
you
the right, like the wind was trying to guide you there.
to a
Yeah.
specific fixed location that you are familiar with on the same plane of existence.
Yeah, so
Destination
basically,
route, such as a mobile
for 24 hours,
It's
I know how to get to our goal.
It's less of that, and it's more of like thinking of a location.
It's a location rather than a thing. So
yeah, it's
So-
rather than like
But it's
finding
still,
an
I'll
it'll
area.
still
say-
ping the
I'll
path.
say because you don't know exactly what you're trying to go to.
Yeah.
It won't
yeah,
be
I'd
as
say
that.
Yeah.
I'd say you just
If
you
you've
don't-
been there, I
Okay.
would have argued, sure, you.
Well, you can
done
do
that.
places that you haven't been. You just like in
you
Critical Role, for
you
example.
you have to be
Could
familiar.
you use locate creature on
or
undead?
you have to have an object from the location
Yeah,
that you would
actually,
find. He has
yeah.
neither of those things.
Yeah, I just didn't read the description.
I was just.
That's fine
That's
though.
fine.
I
So I
will.
remember that was a thing. in
I will give
Critical
credit when it's due. That was a smart way to try to do this.
Yeah, but
I have
I-
locate
like,
creature, but I'm concentrating on
I
Pass Without
definitely
a Trace at the moment.
won't blame you for that one. That's one of the spells that trips everyone up the first time they use it. Is
Actually,
So I'm going to rerun my stealth.
Sure.
I'll also roll stealth because you are casting Pass Without Trace.
Alright.
Also for the stream, I'm using because it will be relevant in this campaign. This session. I am using one or two creatures from this.
Yes,
Alright.
from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, which
It's 19 on stealth.
will be
Right.
available everywhere now. So if you
Yeah,
if you it's a really good book. I've read it. It's got
Yeah,
quite a
it's
large amount of really good stuff in there. So if you're a DM looking for quite a large amount of extra
because it's
planar
got
monsters,
like stuff on like lore and like gods and stuff in there.
it's a
as
lot.
well.
It's got a lot.
So if you're looking for just lore stuff, that's a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also some of the more old kind of edition things as well, like demon princes and that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
Heck, even really scary creatures from back in the day are in this book as well. And trust me when I say there's some pretty scary ones in here.
the Astral Dreadnought as an example.
But yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, that is a 34 on stealth.
Yeah.
All right then.
I got
19.
I got to 26.
I got 30.
19 because I rolled a 4.
Yay!
that's a natural 20 on stealth.
So that's 30.
30.
So you
31.
so you pretty much just melt away in darkness. We get it. Okay.
So yeah, we're pretty stealthed. And I'll be leading, I guess, because I'm a ranger.
I'll probably be
So-
close behind as well because I'm a druid.
So I'll probably I'll still be actively percepting if things off or anything.
Again, what you notice is that this room is in fact quite barren and bare. Bar what I've said before, quite leafy. It looks to be as if an opening that you can tell is very natural, but still feels as though if you'd gone to another place, you could think it'd be
Like-
man-made.
like-
It's-
It's quiet here, a bit too quiet. Be
I
wary.
guess the Feywild kind of does that. So
But at the same time, though, for the immediate area, there seems to be nothing really watching you or any issues so far. But you do find it quite peculiar that it is kind of this setup in a natural area,
Yeah.
though.
does the I imagine being half Eldrin, I'd be pretty familiar with the Feywild. Does something seem off to me?
You notice that when you look around, the others who aren't exactly the most familiar with Fey, those who don't have Fey ancestry, essentially, or those who haven't travelled much in the Feywild, you notice that usually there's this air of mysticism and really quite magical and sort of charmy kind of energy around here. You notice it feels very dark, quite suffocating, stagnant.
Yeah.
It's
So I'll probably talk to you and Sylvan as we've gone away, like,
Yeah.
because I've been through the Feywild before. And like, this is odd. Usually it's very wild, lush here. Seems to have darkened.
It's concerning.
Very. Be wary.
But bar that though, you also sort of notice that by now you probably would run into one or two kinds of Fey already. And the fact that there's none around whatsoever is a clear warning sign.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, be wary. Because usually there's Fey everywhere in the Feywild.
Heck, you two particularly would know, even by now, even if they don't mean any harm, you probably would have had a trick or two
Oh,
put
yeah,
on you by
definitely.
particular kinds of dragon-like fairies, you could say.
Pixies,
dragon
pixie
fairies.
sprites and fairy dragons.
Yeah.
But you notice since
And
there's
probably a
none of them
satire now and then as well.
but you notice that since there's nothing like that around whatsoever, again, things seem to be very different now of place.
Yeah.
Although when you do look around though, you notice that some of the foliage itself looks to be of a weird sort of browny kind of red kind of leafage. Which you know outside it was all green and everything before, which you find quite odd.
In the summer courts area, that is very weird.
Yeah.
Do you guys think I should, because I can commune with nature?
The
Yeah, I was looking
undead
at
bring
doing the
corruption.
same thing.
They that won't help you in.
It could give me some idea where
It
where
gives
the
you
corruption centers
3
from.
facts about natural features in 3 miles.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
this is
Yeah.
nature.
I suppose
Communing with
it
nature.
is. Yeah, I
Not
suppose.
plant, nature.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no, it is.
So
community
3
nature,
facts
so,
and 3 what?
Yep. So
3 facts about the area between 3 miles.
I spend I sit down and I kind of spend a minute kind of.
So I'll probably put up like
just
whole-
spend it 10 minutes and cast it as a ritual. It is a
You
ritual.
could do that.
Oh yeah, it is a ritual spell.
And you are a druid, so you can do
So
that.
yeah, I will cast it as a ritual spell, and that's the spell.
I'll stand by
Okay,
her.
that is fine.
Are you gonna do it with me as well?
Yeah, may as well.
We'll do it together.
Although I can only do it once per
Oh well.
long rest, I'm pretty
Alright.
sure. it
Yeah,
is.
and I don't really only need to do it once. Just stand guard.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, 3 things you do know about that you'll know as facts
Um,
about this place. One, you know that essentially in this forest.
Do I get to pick what the 3 facts are?
No,
No.
the DM does.
Oh, okay.
I'll still let you
Yeah,
know some
sorry.
things. You know 3 things about this particular forest here, which I call Kronos Forest, is that one, whenever you would move from one place to another, sometimes the actual seasons of the forest itself change instantly in a really weird sporadic kind of fashion.
Huh.
2, if you take the wrong way, you know that there's a good chance you could either get lost, run to something else that you're not meant to run into, you could be transported back to the start. You don't know. And the 3rd one is you sort of know also for a fact that I'll tell you something that you can find in here. Storm giants. There is a storm giant lying around here somewhere.
Did I get a feel for the general direction where the corruption sort of feeling is coming from? Because that was mainly what I was looking for.
You sort of get the feeling that the corruption, you can't exactly pinpoint where, but you know it is more sort of in the heart of the forest itself. And you know, and you sort of, when you were outside, which I didn't mention, you sort of did see a gigantic tree sort of there, which you get the weird feeling that maybe that's where you're being pointed towards.
Guess we're going to the tree.
Yeah, I give you 4 facts for the price of 3.
Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah.
good deal. I'll take it.
But essentially, what you gathered is usually this is a normal Fey forest, but time does move very differently here. And seasons may or may not have something to do with what could occur in here as well, possibly. You don't know.
If I look around, can I see any more hints as to what direction that we need to take?
You see no more hints.
Okay.
So basically, we need to kind of guess the path that we're going.
joy
There
of
must be
joys.
some way that we can.
Is there a tree that I can climb?
There's trees everywhere.
There's trees everywhere, but you can certainly try to climb up and see what happens.
I'm gonna try to climb up.
Sure,
I
roll me up in
wouldn't do-
athletics.
Okay. Guidance.
That's athletics.
Guidance.
That's a
advantage.
30 on
Oh,
athletics.
never mind.
Yeah,
Never
Because I
mind.
got a nat 20 on that.
Never mind.
You try to climb up a bit. You make it sort of what looks to be about 25 feet off the ground of this particular clearing, but you notice that you can't quite get past the canopy here a bit.
I wouldn't. You can't.
Ah.
Everything
It does
is
not
alive.
want us. It does not want us to be able to see the direction that we are traveling.
Yeah. Seems as far as.
In fact, you sort of get the weird feeling that it may have overgrown reactively, so you can exactly get out or through that way.
She sighs and she's like, "You know, trees, you could be more helpful. We are here to assist, not to harm."
Sorry, give me a moment. A friend of mine's asking if there's a stream on tonight, and
It's like, well, obviously,
Yes.
yes.
The answer to
Yes.
that question is yes.
Yes, there is a stream.
is sorry, guys.
Yeah, just as we're having this little siesta to deal with stream logistics, has there been any comments or anything in chat?
A little bit. Apparently we've had trouble buffering.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. But at the same time, I actually only recently, like in the last hour, got notification that Gavin and my upload speed has been increased to 5 instead of just 1.
That's good.
Oh,
So,
that we might actually be able to
Do things.
do things.
Yep. So
I'll have to.
Awesome.
we'll be testing that at some point.
Well, we'll test it. We'll test it over the next little bit, because if that is the case, then I'll probably still run that game.
I might actually be able to do my gaming stream that I've always wanted to do.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Anywho,
back to the.
Yes, back to the
back to it. But yes, how do you think you'll navigate through? That is a good question.
Okay, well I guess I'm gonna climb back down and tell everybody my findings.
This wasn't much.
You do know that the forest is somewhat alive right now, which is a pretty good piece of information.
Well,
Unless the forest is responsive.
I probably didn't get much. Well, that's pretty normal for Feywild, isn't it?
Yes, but we're able to tell that this it seems to be dying off. Yes. The fact is that the forest is still responsive to our actions and reactions to it.
I don't have.
elves and their magic.
I don't think I have anything that can, apart from find the path.
Well,
that
no,
can help
not
us.
even
No.
not even elves and their magic.
Because I saw the tree.
You
Hmm?
can.
Can I cast find the path on the tree? Because you said I saw it.
She's seen the tree.
Technically.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Well, I mean, you also know of the heart of the forest now, and that's where the corruption is.
Yeah, you do cast it.
So you can.
Yes!
So you can actually do that now.
Fair enough. So, again, where the wind was blowing, you notice your path light up. Kind of.
Okay, so we'll go that way.
It's a shiny follow trail. You know how in some MMOs how
Oh,
they've
yeah,
got the shiny
like
trail?
Fable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a
Fable or
concentration up to a day.
Yeah.
concentration up to 1 day.
Yeah, well, that's very hard in Feywild.
So, you make your way sort of to the right, I'm assuming, because that's
Yeah.
where it's lit up.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll probably following our friend over here.
Yeah, following
I'm
the path that
I'm
she's
following
following.
the path.
And I'll be still actively looking around, making sure I'm not getting spotted or.
Roll your perception.
Yep.
I will also.
I'll also roll 20.
You know,
Ooh,
so
dang it! It like leaned
11.
on that 20 for a little bit there.
It's 11.
So not nat 20 for me.
Oh no, wait.
You notice right now that there's nothing else that's hidden, sort of watching you at the moment.
Mm.
You don't know, like you see nothing.
Yeah.
But when you do walk into this next opening, you sort of do. As soon as you walk in, you're hit by this really foul kind of stench.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Can I try and nature see if I can identify it?
Sure.
17.
You don't know particularly what it is, but you do see two plants, essentially, towards the center of this 50 by 50 clearing.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of get the weird nauseating feeling when you walk a little bit towards them that it gets a bit stronger, and you can't quite put your finger on it. But you get the feeling this is definitely not normal, but you don't know exactly what it is.
I'll just back away a bit, and I'll try and talk to these creatures in Sylvan.
They don't respond.
So what are they? They're like.
They look. The best way I can describe them is you sort of see they look like green, kind of bushy overgrow with yellow buds and red tips on the top.
Can I see if I know what they are?
Must be
Yeah.
nature.
Can I
Roll me
as well?
nature.
Alright.
I will also.
I just inform them of the information I gathered.
15.
11.
I'll give
Yeah,
you
11.
advantage considering they're plants, and you're a druid.
No, it's not any better.
So who got over a 15?
I got 15, but that's...
Well, you two. You don't exactly get a name of it, but you had heard of these things before.
Mm-hmm.
As you sort of notice that they've got a few vines coming out of the bottom, and now
Oh,
you
goody.
notice that there seems to be a few skulls and skeletons inside these
Yeah.
things too.
Great.
and
Do I know they have the capacity to speak?
you know for a fact that these things don't appear to have that kind of language skill.
Is there a way that we can go around them?
You can certainly try,
Yeah, we can look at that. I'll go...
but you notice that they're sort of positioned in a way that it's kind of difficult to go around the sides or even
Wait.
through.
Wait.
It's as if they strategically place themselves in
Oh,
two
wait.
spots.
How far away are they?
How far away? I'd say they're about halfway in, so about 25 feet.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Alright, so...
Give me 2 secs. I just want to see how many times I can do a thing, and then if I can do a thing, then I could get us all over there with no problem.
So they're about within 60 feet, I'm assuming.
They are within 60 feet, yeah? Considering these are 50 by 50.
I would like
Alright.
to go
Oh.
Hunter's Sense.
Oh, I
on
think
them.
I know. What
Hang
you're
on, wait. I want to see how many times I can do this.
Mhm.
I can only do it. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So
no.
I can pretty much teleport
No,
away
you
and
wanna-
teleport other people, but I can only do it like 5 times.
So pretty much Hunter's Sense is I gain the ability to peer at a creature and magically discern how to best hurt it. As an action to choose one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. Immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances or vulnerabilities and what they are. If the creature is hidden from divination magic, you sense that it has no damage immunities, resistances or vulnerabilities.
So, just in small, in dot points, you can tell if they have it.
I can tell what they are and what their weaknesses are.
So you know exactly what they are?
I know exactly what they are. Hunter's Sense.
Okay.
Mm.
You know, in fact, that these things are actually a bit rare, considering they usually only come out of either powerful undead or necromancers,
Mm-hmm.
and they are called corpse flowers.
Oh goody.
Oh boy.
And I will inform my
And-
compatriots that be wary, these are corpse
Do
flowers.
they have any damage resistances or immunities?
You don't see any damage immunities, but you do know that they are immune to 2 conditions: blind and deafen.
Mm-hmm.
And you also notice in
Yeah.
the actual bushes themselves, you notice in one of them they have about 6 of these corpses, and the other one they have about 7.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm just going to, since they're within 30 feet, I'm just going to use my channel divinity, charm animals and plants.
Do I have to make is it just a
Wisdom save.
Wisdom. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Just before you do that,
Okay.
with that's
It's
yeah. Are they actually plants?
Yes, they are plants.
Okay.
We'll try that.
So was it 14 you said?
what? Oh, the DC.
Save?
Yeah.
That is 17.
17. So one fails. One of them fails, one of them passes.
All right.
So what happens when they're charmed?
They're charmed.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
They won't
they're-
attack us.
they won't attack. It won't attack us.
One of them won't attack us, the other one may.
So we'll walk closer to that one and.
Yeah. So, is there a way we can just avoid the one that isn't charmed?
You can certainly walk past the one that is charmed without any issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll go that way.
This
Yep.
one shall not bring harm. This way.
Hmm.
I shall follow him.
I'll like follow him.
Yeah. I'll follow as well, but I'll still be keeping a watch as I make my way through.
So how long are they charmed for?
For a minute.
Fair enough.
You can get through.
So you make it through quite calmly. I'm assuming you're walking, or you briskly
Oh,
walking.
I'll be walking very carefully and calmly,
Yeah,
Mhm.
just in
Walking.
case they attack. They use motion. I'm
Okay.
doing scout walk.
Okay, so you've walked and you notice the path, because I'm assuming your thing is going to keep lighting up. You notice that the next path is to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Then we should go to the left.
Yep, we'll go left to left to left.
No.
However, there's an issue with that, which I'm going to roll now, and if you get high or low. High or low? Because one's on the right and one's on the left, but I
High.
have to decide which one.
Always go
Hi.
high.
The one that isn't charmed is the one that is closest to that exit. I was being fair. The die have has spoken,
I
it was an 8.
suppose that is fair enough. If there is two, then it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I have been able to go like, we're going that way, and then you charm the one that.
I
You charm both of
charm
them at
all
once.
of them that's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just he missed that one.
One,
Yeah.
So
one
even though we're
saved.
going that way, it's not charmed.
Well,
Because it's not a target effect.
And considering there was to right and to the left, I just left it to a dice roll. I got an 8. You guys get
Andromache
high.
is gonna draw her halberd and she's gonna say, "Looks like it's time to do a bit of pruning."
Well, on the plus side, only one of them is going to attack you as opposed to 2, which is a pretty useful thing for you guys, possibly. Depends how quick you are with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it'll be that we're going to roll initiative then.
Roll me initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I stay back so that I don't get attacked because I have to keep on moving. Oh wow, good job, me.
Wow.
I'm gonna roll initiative for it too.
That's fine.
This is good.
Everything is fine. This is fine.
Everything's okay. Okay. So, remember barbarians roll twice because of advantage
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
initiative. Remember that? That's a pretty important
Yep.
feature.
Yep.
Alright. So, any 20s or higher?
Yes, 20.
So, Gavin. Okay, so 19s to 15s?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, 14s to 10s?
Oh no.
Oh wow, really?
Okay, 9s to
7.
5s.
5.
7.
7.
7.
I have an initiative of +1, so
I got a +3 initiative.
I
I
have a
rolled a
+2
4.
initiative and rolled a 2.
Ben,
I have a +1
Then-
initiative and rolled a 19 in it.
Ben,
Andromache.
so,
7.
Ben and
Yep.
Ben,
Yep, so
Jess, and Adam.
I probably got it going before because I got higher dex.
Emma? What did you get?
A 4. Wow.
I got a 4.
Good start to
Wow.
the
Amazing
session.
roll for the night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Too
So-
busy making sure no one else.
so this thing, as you sort of go towards with your weapon, it starts unrooting itself off the ground. You notice these tentacles just spring it up as you see sort of the indent of where it used to lay, its vines
Yep.
and things under. But it is Gavin's turn first.
Yay. I get to go first in the initiative. Holy shit.
Yeah, you do. I rolled really
See,
badly.
Barbarians are good for that. If you take what's it called? The one where you can't be surprised. Alert as
yeah.
well. It's just stupid with them.
Yeah. Anyway, did you find out if it had vulnerabilities or not?
It
doesn't.
doesn't. It has.
It has no vulnerabilities. Or
It's
no
immune
weaknesses.
to certain conditions, though.
Conditions, but no damage immunities. Or
Does it have any damage resistances?
And I have that as
No.
well.
I
Yeah.
would have mentioned that to you if
Huh.
it did.
Well, I get to know everything about the thing. That's the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, on that score, yeah. Okay.
Because
Well.
Hunter's sense is awesome.
This is going to be very interesting because I have done quite a bit of flavouring.
Of course you have.
So the first thing that the Vanquisher is going to do is he will basically place his hands together very quickly in prayer, and then do this, and he will be overcome with a white aura. And as a bonus action, I would like to rage.
Oh, of course you would.
So you're raging. Okay. So, I'm assuming you're going to run up to it and try to whack it.
Twice.
Just for a heads up, I gave him gauntlets because he
Thank
he
you.
didn't want any other kinds of weapons he'd want to use, so he homebrewed a pair that's essentially a bunch of longsword damage things.
Yeah, it's basically their hand weapons that deal a D8 of bludgeoning damage.
So, considering that it's monks can do better with their hands at this point anyway, so...
Yeah.
Anywho, so, try to whack it for me.
Yep.
See if you whack it.
22.
That'll hit.
29.
That'll also hit.
Alrighty. So I need to be what is 2d6? It's a 2d8 plus a d6 because on the first hit I get the
Yep, I know. I love zealots, don't get me wrong.
5, 13, 13, 19, 25, 28, 31 points of bludgeoning damage
Mm-hmm.
and 10 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so you managed to lay into it, and it does take a bit of a hit. You can tell it didn't like that one bit. However, now one thing you do notice is as soon as essentially as you've done that, it's turn now. You notice one of the corpses inside seem to dissolve and corrode away as it regains. It looks a bit healthier now than it was before.
Fun.
It can use an action to dissolve the corpses in it to regain
Regenerate.
HP. That's
Maybe. And then what it does is it will actually it's going to do 3 tentacle attacks on you.
sure. Okay.
I doubt that's going to hit. The down level will hit you.
No.
Does a 22 hit you?
That will hit.
And a 23 will also hit you.
Okay.
So all up, you take... You take 23 points of damage,
23.
which I'm assuming is halved because you're raging.
Yes.
So you take 11.
If I could have a pencil, please.
You see 3 of these tentacles just try to have a swipe at you. 2 of them manage to hit and just... It canes a fair bit, sort of...
He gets hit a little bit, but nobody would really see any.
You don't essentially don't flinch. And after flailing, it will then try to... without getting at you'll get an attack opportunity. It'll float a little bit towards where the rest of the group is here.
Oh wait, it moves.
It moves.
Cool. I'll make an attack of opportunity then.
Yep.
That's a 17.
Yep, that hits.
I get the zealot bonus on it because it's only the first creature I hit in a turn.
Sure.
That'll be 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 8 points of radiant damage.
Just let me know the total damage of it, because I'm about to write down every time you go, it's this, then you give me another one.
Okay, yeah. The only reason I'm doing that is because it's like just in case something has a... Because we're dealing with that.
We know this
Yeah,
I
particular
suppose,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm missing one of my D8s. It's gone somewhere.
Alright. Now, Ben,
What?
it is your turn.
Wow.
I need you to make me
Mm-hmm.
a Constitution saving throw.
That is bad because I don't have con.
You do it. Your con's not bad.
It's not that
what
bad.
Are you talking about?
Yeah, but my rolls tonight have been pretty bad, so we'll see. Yeah, that is a 7.
Okay.
You... You're incapacitated until the end of the turn.
Yep.
So we move on now to to Jess.
Okay.
Wait, until the end of the turn.
Yep.
So at the end of its turn.
The end of the turn.
Another turn. Next, top of initiative if it goes away.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Oh, you mean round?
Yeah.
End of the round. Okay.
It
Yeah.
says end of the turn.
Yeah.
It says
Oh.
the end of the turn.
Really, end of the turn.
That means he's no longer incapacitated.
Oh, okay.
So you can use your reactions.
You can.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Jess, it moved close to everyone, so you need to make me one too.
Oh, okay. So con save?
Yeah.
Oh, so everyone has to do this?
Yep. We're fucked.
Okay.
16.
You pass.
I'm guessing I need to
and
make
I
it
would
too.
like to rage.
No.
And
not
then
your
I'm
turn.
gonna swing at it twice.
Oh, is it just on the turn? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure, roll me to swing. And
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, it's literally just roll a con save. If you
So-
fail, lose your turn.
That's
Michael. I get a reaction if it tries to sabotage me, if they make an attack with the quarry.
Sure.
So I'll go for the silver longsword and strike at it.
Okay.
Sorry, because I'm so.
Yeah, it's I'm still
Yeah.
learning the monster slayer.
That's fair enough.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting class.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
No, doesn't hit.
So that's a 21 and a 29.
Both of them hit.
Yeah, my rolls.
What were your
Why
damage?
dice? Why?
Oh my god, I actually get to use D10. I think this is the first time I've ever used D10.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed a part.
Like, outside of actual.
I missed a trigger. I feel stupid.
Oh well.
Is it
Oh,
like
well.
is it like an aura based?
No, it's something that happens when it hits with a tentacle as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Oh, well.
Trigger.
Hmm.
Missed trigger. Okay.
Still learning. It's fine.
36
Well, I mean, these
for
are all,
both.
these are all new monsters.
Yeah.
36 damage
36
each?
in total.
Oh, 36. Awesome.
We're all learning here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is not looking. It's not looking particularly good, guys. So next it is Adam.
All right.
Make me that save.
All right. 10.
You incapacitate until,
Alright.
and then it's now Emma's turn, which you have to roll the same thing.
Oh man, thing's an annoying little dick.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Well, that's pretty good. 16.
You pass.
Yeah.
What do you wish to do?
Does anyone look like they need healing?
No.
I've been the only one who's
I haven't
been hit
taken
so
any
far.
And he's a
Yeah.
barbarian, so
He's
Alright, so
fine.
everyone's doing. So this thing's like right in front of me.
Yep.
Do I run or run away? Or do I want to hit it?
Shillelagh smack.
Yeah, no, because like I need to concentrate on my find the path.
Yeah, but Shillelagh isn't concentration, I don't think.
it
No.
is.
Oh, but
but
if
like-
she takes damage,
Oh, she takes
Shillelagh
damage.
Shillelagh is a concentration up to a minute.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? It
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't say concentration.
Yeah, no, it's just 1 minute.
There's no
No, it's
concentration.
just no concentration.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm stupid. Continue.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So I'm just trying to think.
Oh
do
man,
I
the actual
wanna
applications of a druid
do I
fighter
just
could be very useful.
stay here and hit it, or run away?
No, disengage.
yeah, just disengage. We can take
Actually,
care of
imagine a
it.
druid blazing with that.
I'm
That'd
gonna
be pretty
use
funny.
my hidden paths to kind of teleport to like. I don't think that provokes.
It doesn't.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
teleportation.
So,
teleportation does not.
what's your wisdom modifier at the moment?
It is +5. So
Okay, I'm just keeping a track of how many TPs you're doing.
No, I can.
It's for
Yeah.
my benefit as well.
But teleportation can mishap.
Oh yeah, that and also it's very good to know and keep track of just in case.
Well, it's a Fey-based teleport.
Yeah, the only
I know.
teleport
Yeah.
that actually has mishaps is
It-
teleport.
Well, it's
Okay.
not. Sorry, it's not mishaps. It's more for me to know how many you have and how many
Yeah.
you've used, because that would then determine possible things. That, you
Yeah,
know.
other things that he might have to look out for.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
So you've teleported away as an action, or
That is a bonus action for me to teleport me.
ooh, that's really good actually.
But
What are you going to do?
I don't think I want to do anything. Where's my action though?
do you have any like first level harmful spells that you can hit with a distance?
Do you want to taunt?
No, I'm trying to get away from it.
Do you wish to taunt?
Kind of defeats the point.
Or running away? Yes.
How far did you teleport away?
How close can I get to the thing that like to where we were going?
You can get pretty much straight on top of it, so you'd be
'Cause-
about 30 feet away if that's the case.
Yeah, because I could teleport up to like 60 feet, I believe it was.
Yes.
So which is pretty good.
It is actually
So-
very nice to have as a bonus action.
That is my
Yeah, it's
turn.
literally bonus action teleport. It's literally bonus action
Are you
fast step.
not casting a harmful
Do you
spell?
know-
Or?
I don't have.
Do you know what the really funny thing
one that I
is?
wanna
You
use.
could essentially make an Eldritch Knight with Druid-based things with that, and then just take Fighter instead.
Well,
That'll
be
the,
my
the,
turn.
the,
Run around
the,
teleporting.
well, the,
I just want to run
you know
away.
the soul knife that I'm using for Fran?
Yeah.
The other archetype is literally a quarter caster that uses the druid spell list in wisdom. Sorry.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but we'll avoid that for now.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
can
That's
we
my
just,
tu- that's my
continuing?
turn.
I have
Yeah.
my thoughts
Continue.
about that. Anyway, so
Is it back to the top of the initiative?
Yes, it is.
Gavin.
Cool. It's moved away from me, hasn't it?
Yep.
So I'm gonna walk over to it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna punch it.
Sure. Punch it.
Punch it in his dumb face.
I'm gonna punch it in its dumb face. Yes, that's a 22.
Sure. Hits.
That's a 17.
Both hit. Just roll me your damage out, your complete damage, and just tell me it as a total.
37 points.
So 37 points.
Pretty good.
Okay. It is looking pretty bad. But now it is its turn.
And it's gonna regenerate some more before coming to attack me?
Yeah, it is actually.
Actually, you would have run up to it, so you wouldn't. It wouldn't need to go anywhere to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's gonna regenerate. Well, technically, it actually has other people in its reach.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I forgot that I have that. Yeah.
Okay. Another one of those zombies, and it's, not zombie skeletons or corpse, just essentially get disintegrated or dissolved, and
And
it
it
looks a little bit
regenerates.
more healthy again.
Yep.
And then it is going to. Actually, I'm gonna roll a D4 for this because some people have actually hit it pretty hard as opposed to you.
The other barbarian.
I haven't hit anything.
Adam,
Alright.
it's looking at you. It's gonna make 3 swings.
Oh, he did try to charm her.
First one misses. Second one, I'm assuming, will hit with a 23.
Well, duh.
And roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 21.
You're fine. You'll only take the 2d6, which you will take a total of 11 points of damage.
What type of damage?
Bludgeoning.
Okay.
As you managed to avoid the other nasty part of that as well. Which is why I was like, yeah. And bar that, that's all it can really do. And now it is Ben's turn.
Right.
Did you fail that save last time?
I did.
You need to roll it for me again.
Okay.
You can do it.
18?
That passes.
Alright. Alright, so.
Oh, does that linger?
Yeah.
It
It's like-
lingers, but there's a different side to it which I'll explain after.
It's
the
kind of like
combat's over.
spores, probably, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go bonus action to Slayer's Prey.
Yep.
Which gives me, when I hit, it does an extra d6 damage like Hunter's Mark without
Yep.
costing the spell slot.
Well, it's Hunter's Mark, but better.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I'll go for can't use the crossbow because it's in close range, so I'll go for my silvered longsword into it.
Big one.
Got to strike with my silvered longsword.
Sure, go for it.
2 attacks into it.
Yep.
That will miss with a 10.
Yep.
With a 1.
Was it in that one?
Yeah.
You know what he's doing.
Before you make the second attack, the long sword that you had just flies out of your hand.
I'll draw the other longsword.
Object interaction, draw the free object interaction, draw the
Yeah,
other
it's not,
longsword.
it's not my silver longsword, it's an iron, it's an elven longsword.
Yep, take another swing.
Natural 1, Jesus Christ. That is 10, 11, 12, 13,
That'll
14
hit.
to hit. So it does D8.
Yep.
Plus 3.
Seems I'm absorbing
That is a
your luck
D10.
tonight,
Oops.
Ben.
Yeah. So that is 4, 5,
You
6,
keep
7
absorbing
points of damage.
people's
7?
luck.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's still up and it's not looking too flash.
What happens if you like ate a unicorn?
Jess,
Maybe like a leprechaun.
you made the save last time, didn't you?
No.
What?
No, corner gremlin, no.
What do you wish to do?
I'm going to attack it again.
Go for it.
Awesome. That is a 26 and a 20.
How do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna slash this thing down to its roots.
My dice hate me.
Alright, so you managed to get in there, start slashing it down to its roots. You notice that a few times it tries swinging a few tentacles at you, but they just sort of start to wither and go down a bit. And after that, you essentially see it's been hacked to bits, and you notice that all the corpses that were in there start to roll out and
Forgot the
explode on the
D6.
floor.
God damn.
You notice quite a few Eldrin in there. You notice quite a few elves, dwarfs. There's a bit of a mixture in there, but you can tell. But from your knowledge, you could probably tell these are people who've wandered into the forest and unfortunately ran into some unwanted.
Died to
Guess.
this thing.
She's just like weaklings.
This way before the other one seeks to attack.
I'll pick up my silvered longsword, please, and sort of hide it. Hide my shame.
Good you mentioned that you picked that up.
Yeah. That was man. Yeah, and I just put it back into the sheet and just say nothing. I
Alright.
put my,
Comic is very
I like put
unimpressed.
I have a hood up. I put it over a bit deeper, so you can't really see his face. You just see the bone of his
He's
chin
just
and the and like a black little beard
Blush
down there.
of shame.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like,
It's like
Oh, I'm so unhappy with this result.
yeah, he is.
this is him right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
He's,
was like,
he
please
trained
don't
for
get
so many years and he screwed up with. He's an old character.
Even the bird.
Oh, rookie error. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, if you just glance under the hood for a moment, you could swear he might be a tiefling.
That,
Oh wow.
Could I
Yeah.
roll perception to see if I saw the sword fly out of his hand?
Roll to advantage because you've probably been concentrated straight on the.
and you'd have raged as
yeah,
well.
you were raging. At
And
the
you're
time.
raging, even if it's a holy rage.
That's still a 14.
Roll me. Stealth, yeah, roll me stealth.
Alright.
You can do it.
16.
Yeah, you didn't see it, but you do get the general feeling of shame and embarrassment.
You can just tell that.
We should get
He
going,
fucked up.
guys.
You can tell he kind of goofed up a bit.
I blame the ale.
Always blame the alcohol.
So all the Vanquisher is going to say is like, even the best warriors make mistakes.
I just say nothing.
And
I'm gonna guess I probably saw it from my vantage point of far away.
yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have. You
I,
weren't.
I say nothing about it, and I go, we should probably get going.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to the
Yeah, we're
left.
following-
Yep.
We should follow.
We're following.
Yeah, that's
our
what I mean,
friend
to the
here.
left, because that's
Yeah.
where the path is going.
Yeah.
We'll go to the left.
Oh my god. Damn it, dice.
Let us hope that we'll come across some stronger foes.
Okay, nothing.
After you guys, then.
Aren't you the one who can see the path?
Well, I
Well,
also
I'll lead. I'll lead. It's fine. So I'll just
prefer not to be in front, considering
actively
I need
searching
to
again
concentrate
perception
on
check.
Okay.
I'll be
focusing
doing
on
the
where they
same.
are.
Roll me
It'll be
perception.
That's better.
Yeah, so I'm just
Non-natural 20.
following the path.
25 for me.
You guys walk in. You notice that there's nothing sort of really staring in the back of your skull. You feel no lingering presence. But you make your way into the next sort of opening, and this one's a bit bigger than the last one, about 75 by 75.
Ooh.
You notice that there sort of seems to be a rubbled kind of building in the center of it and everything, and it looks like this used to be sort of an outpost of sorts, or maybe even a stop, you could say, in the middle of these.
It's a rest stop.
A rest stop
Well,
of sorts.
it was a rest stop.
Was a rest stop?
I'll probably, I don't know, like I've seen this, I'll probably I'll try investigation to see if I can find signs of life or anything.
So you're rolling investigation?
Yeah.
I'll also
Alright.
join
Can
him.
we
Are you
Stealth?
looking
Sure.
around the building and everything?
Please
And
stealth.
all?
Yeah, just the
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
stealth
go around
first.
thing,
Stealth.
everything, yeah. Not like
Stealth
stealth.
and then investigation.
Not
Sure.
nat 20 on stealth.
Okay, you're fine. You can see.
Well, we still got the
Um,
plus 10 because I got past that
Oh,
trace.
Okay.
isn't that concentration?
Yeah, I didn't take any damage.
Okay.
I haven't taken any damage. I've got stun.
So then I would have gotten a 28 on stealth and a 19 on
How
investigation.
are you
Alright.
23 on stealth.
I've taken
6 on
a total
investigation.
of
So
24.
13 for my investigation.
Okay.
I have 107.
You notice nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, what was your investigation?
My investigation was 19.
Okay.
Everyone
Your
else is doing it.
investigation was 19.
Natural 20 on investigation.
We'll get to you
Nice.
next.
And 28 on stealth for me, just so you know.
We'll get to you next. Don't worry, because I have things in here I need to quickly bring up, guys. I'm sorry. It's
I suppose I'd still be raging, and I just need to keep that in mind because there is something involving failed saving throws that I can do once per rage.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't rage subside when you're not in combat for
No, I've got
duration?
relentless rage.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. You're just angry all
Yeah,
the
So
time.
I'm
You're just like
quickly
walking around
getting
like,
it up.
Well, and because I'm a zealot, it just lasts 1 minute because I don't fall unconscious even if I hit 0 hit points.
Yeah,
You're just like,
They're the ultimate anime protagonists of
Yeah.
any kind of
shonen.
shonen
Yeah.
show. Your rage sustains you.
your emotions sustain you.
Sorry.
It's Bakugo.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Big.
Dick.
Just please.
I'm surrounded by weirdos.
It's like, what did you
Oh, admit it,
say
Michael, you
your
love it.
character's thing was?
I'm saying nothing about my own
He
thing
gave
about
the
that.
name
It'd
Hawk.
be hypocritical. Okay,
In
Gavin.
the recent
Yo.
chapter, there was a new.
What you first
hero
noticed is under some of the
called
rubble,
Hawks.
you notice
Oh god.
next to this rubble on the
Got
of the
introduced.
wall, there looks to be a few rusted kind of weapons there. But under rubble, you notice a bit of a lighty kind of glow in there.
I will have a look, see if I
Oh,
can
it's a
grab it and have
shiny.
a look. It's a shiny.
You
It's too
managed to
bad I'm not
find a
playing
weapon,
volley.
like a
weapon.
sword. It has like a silvery kind of handle, silver grey, sort of like a bit of a fan-looking kind of thing at the top. Goes down a sort of a curved pommel kind of thing. But then there's a really bright blade attached to it.
What kind of bright?
Is
Is
it
it
a-
a bright
It's like a
colour?
yellowy white, bright,
it-
thin.
Is it a sunblade? Did I find a sunblade?
Roll me Arcana.
Out of game, that was out of character. That was a question, but no, I'll roll Arcana. That's a 13.
Well, it's enough. You kind of get the feeling that this does look like a radiant kind of weapon, obviously. You've heard of things about from your monastery or whatever it is. You do think it is something called a sunblade.
We're gonna need that.
He looks there as like track a man, catch, and he'll toss
He
his blade.
throws a sword at you.
Oh no, well, see, the blade is activate, deactivate. It's basically a fucking lightsaber. So it's just a hilt. He's just gonna toss you the hilt.
Yeah.
Does he wish to take it? That was the big question.
I was,
What does character do
Do you
it?
catch it or let it?
no.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're the one who uses. You and the cleric would probably be the one most likely to use the longsword. And I think, do you have access to martial weapons?
No.
I think that you do. Yeah, so you're the only one who really uses.
Well, I've got
longsword.
the. So I probably I'll probably take it because we're going against undead, and one of my favorite enemies is undead. So
Not to mention, it does extra damage versus undead.
Now,
Also, I'm gonna point out that none of us knew that this was gonna be the Feywild and like against undead and stuff. We've got favorite enemy undead. I'm a
I've got 3 favorite enemies:
dream circle.
giants,
Druid.
fey, and dead.
that's why I did say to you.
Hilariously
Cleric.
enough.
That's when you said I want to go with Fey Warlock or Druid. That's why I said to you both of them work with what you had in
Yeah.
mind. Now Emma,
So
when
add the
you look around, you notice that
sunblade.
there seems to be sort of what looks to be kind of like in the far back of the rubble, there seems to be what looks to be a chest. You notice that there's an opening of a chest there, or the front of it. You sort of walk up to it, you sort of scrub it a bit away, and you notice that there's this unlocked kind of nice looking innate chest. It's sort of like got gold trimmings and a jewel here and there, and the crest of it looks to be a giant's face, and it's unlocked.
Guys, I found a chest and I kind of like grabbed it out and stuff to show to everyone.
I'm gonna go over.
May I? I'm gonna investigate.
I'm gonna check it to see if it's trapped or if it's got any spells on it.
Sure.
I'm not actually checking it. I'm just checking out the chest in general and like the symbolism and everything on it.
It's a nice looking chest.
No, I was thinking more along the thing of like the giant's face on it.
The giant's face, it looks sort of, again, it's a gold encrusted chest with its face sort of It's a bit vague at the time, so what kind of giant thing it is, but you could sort of tell maybe there's a bit of a. Maybe it might be important considering it looks very well crafted and
Should
kept.
Yeah, that's
Can
why.
I check to see if it's like trapped or anything?
Sure.
So that'd be
How do we know it's a giant's face? Isn't that just a...
a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, face.
So that's a 23.
There are no traps.
Okay, I waste.
You kind of get the feeling that this must
Oh,
have
wait, so
been
no, I'm not doing
held
so.
behind like a secret wall or something in here before, because it's sort of crumbled a bit, and you've
Me
noticed
too.
that it was well hidden through other
Seeing
means.
as it's unlocked, I need to very carefully open it.
When you open it, you sort of notice what looks to be a belt.
Here we go.
You see the face looks to be a bit of a bushier looking one, quite well groomed and kept. It has a slight bluish tinge to it, and you see sort of it with you notice that it's got like a nice looking kind of, I'm just making fluff of other things. It's got like a nice bluey white kind of gem, a few of them lined around the waist and everything.
I
And
know what it is.
May I also roll? to see if
Same
I know
here.
what it is?
sure.
The Arcana.
Yeah, what
Out of the game, I'm 90% sure I know what it is. Considering she
Arcana?
and I are both
Yeah, it's
Goliaths,
Arcana.
aka Giant King, would we be able to roll with advantage?
I'll say with advantage for you two, yes.
So
What are we actually rolling?
I'll say, how are you trying to identify what this thing is? Are you trying to recall information? Are you trying to give
Probably
it a bit of a
recall
look?
information.
Then
Yeah,
history.
recall information.
I didn't roll well. I don't know anything.
That was 2 10s, so yeah, just
18.
10.
You get the feeling that while you don't know exactly what kind of giant this may be,
It's belt of giant strength.
you sort of do get the feeling that you have heard of belts that grant the might of a giant by attaching it to your waist. And you can tell this one's not of the lower end. It looks to be very well made, very well kept. In fact, it was hidden away sort of in a wall. You get the feeling that it's quite treasured, and
I wanna take it.
Who wants it?
I want it so bad.
I do want it, but I will give it up
Are you
for the other
sure?
one.
heck, even our druid could possibly take it if she wants to whack things. I'm just pointing out possibilities here.
I'm
not
not
saying.
much of a fighter, so
I will take the belt.
Okay, Gavin.
here you go. I'll give you the whole chest.
It's just like,
Gavin. You can I will let you roll one more history check if you want with advantage.
Sure.
To properly determine which kind of belt it is.
That's an only an 11.
Again, you know it's a pretty good kind of belt, but you also need to have to sit down and actually properly let this
So
thing.
frost or higher. I know. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get a feeling though that you need to probably sit down and properly
I'll also.
link to the item and stuff.
Do I have any idea that this area would be safe? Like this particular area would be safe.
I can make it safe.
Oh, well,
I
yeah,
can as well.
Alright, well if they can both make it safe then.
Because
We should
we
probably
gonna take
take the like because those two are both attunement items. You should probably take your time to have a short rest just so we can
Yeah.
attune those items.
because
Because I'm not gonna.
How long's the short rest again?
1 hour.
1 hour.
1
Okay.
Let me just check because I have an ability to do with rest, but I don't know if it's short rest or long rest.
You can draw your
My-
hearth. I believe it's long rest.
Identify.
Path of
Yeah, I'm the hearth of light and shadow. I believe is
Well,
long
now if I
rest.
play this character again, I'll have to ask the demon if I can give him identify because it works
I
with
will
his
be-
spells.
Getting a...
Well, with his background anyway.
You just take
Again,
it.
I said
At the start
before,
of
if
a
there's any
rest, it
trading
doesn't
you
Well,
want
a
to do
rest.
for skills
Okay,
that
well
makes
then
sense,
yeah, no,
go for it, but
you
obviously
could
an equal trade has to be
you
made.
could half
Yeah.
of light and shadow, but it's
Because he has detect magic.
It
I'm
doesn't
gonna
say
change
how
that to
often I get it.
identify.
so it just
If-
says
look,
that
if you
I
wanna
just have it. I can
Change it
just do
to
that.
identify
Let me
instead of
have a
detect
look.
magic.
Oh, no,
you don't
during
have
the
to
short
want.
long
Detect
rest.
magic could come in handy as well. That's
I'm
At
just
the start of the
saying,
rest, you
pick one of the two
put-
and I'll let you
no,
have it.
I'll use it next time when I
Okay.
use this again. It's just a one shot. So it's fine.
Sure.
Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to. So we're going to take a short rest.
short
Yep.
rest.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yep.
throw it over to a point like in between all of us where we want to settle down, and in the middle, and I'm going to like touch the ground and use my half of moonlight and shadow, and basically it makes it so that we have +5 to our stealth and perception checks. Any light and open flames in the sphere. It's a 30-foot radius sphere.
It's basically we're
Yeah.
basically protecting nothing can really
Yeah.
see us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so any light and open frame in the sphere, campfire torches, etc., like isn't visible from the outside,
Okay.
and it'll vanish at the end of the rest.
Sure.
And I'll probably spend 10 minutes
Mhm.
to use alarm as a ritual.
Go for it. That's fine. So you're taking a short
Oh,
rest.
do you
then?
have a ritual caster?
No, it can be a ritual or cast at night.
Rangers aren't
Rangers don't.
ritual casters.
Yeah, rangers don't get
Oh.
ritual casting as part of spell
So you
casting.
probably-
So
we,
you
we,
can
can, we
spend.
can see outside of the sphere, so I don't think.
Yeah, we can see outside of the sphere.
We won't need to put an
Alright.
alarm
Okay.
because not all of us.
First
are-
things first. Obviously, you know you got a sunblade
Yes.
for the hour. That's fine.
Yeah.
Gavin, you feel a tremendous boost in your strength, and you see sort of when you fully tune to it, there's like a little flash of lightning, kind of these orbs, and
It's a belt of storm giant strength.
I picked it as soon as it was. I was like, oh my god.
because I was originally going, because the thing is, I was going to roll for it, but when Emma got a nat 20 to find it, I'm like, okay, highest
This
level
is
you
like
get.
screw it, we get the highest one.
Pretty much, because I had, for the DC for that one I had was 24 to find it.
2 cans.
So she critted it, so best result, I'm going to just give it to you. It's fine.
Thank you, Emma. Your good rolling has
And it's good that people figure out to actually look around the place for things. It's good.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
I-
my
Anyway.
character is like that. He's
I'm
very.
just gonna
That's fair
He's
enough.
a very
quickly
serious
grab this so I
character.
can pull
Yes.
from my
You need to
strength.
start bringing pencils with you, Gavin.
Yes,
So
that is
Why is
also
it not
plus
a
9.
So now-
that will go to
you've all relaxed.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing has come about. You may have actually felt a set of eyes scanning the area for a little bit, but you also do notice that outside, weirdly enough, it looked to be like sort of browny kind of leaves, and it's sort of changed to what looks to be like dead kind of looking trees, and it's gotten much colder,
Changed to winter.
and
I'm used
it
to
seems a bit
temperatures.
darker and that sort of thing.
There you go. You have a pencil now.
As
Tiny pencil, but you have a pencil.
as Emma's character would know from that thing, the forest is ever changing in season.
Yeah. So it's good to winter. It's from autumn to winter.
So after that short rest, you're all feeling quite rejuvenated. Some people have attuned to their items. You've gotten a bit more used to Emma's. Those who are more of nature, so rangers and druids, you're feeling and totem warriors, because I'm assuming you're a little bit naturey. Are you?
Nature
I
clear.
don't get any.
And a
bonuses
nature cleric.
for
Nature cleric, you
environment.
three feel a little bit more at ease in the forest here. You seem to sync up a little bit more to what's going on
Well,
here. Bit of a natural flow
I've traveled
here.
through the Feywild before, so it's fine.
But this particular one of the weird time
Yeah,
changes
it's
as well. You're
different,
sort of
yeah.
getting a bit used to it now. It
Yeah.
kind of feels a bit normal.
But yeah. So
And one of our barbarians has gone to the bathroom as well, so it's all
course.
good.
I think the stream might be able to pick that up.
it's really awkward, but that's canon. His character went to the bathroom.
After being so excited from getting that belt, they couldn't contain it any longer. And
That's pretty major though.
again, it was going to be either a fire one or up, but I'm just going to give it to you if you go very well with it. Especially since there's a storm giant lying around too, so who knows. Anywho, you've had your rest. It's cold now.
Yep.
And you notice that, again, would your thing still be up at the moment, finding the trail?
Finding trail lasts
A day, isn't it?
It's up to a day.
I'm just
Yeah,
making sure
24
I'm
hours.
just making sure your thing,
24 hours,
your
yeah.
class feature wasn't going to impede on that.
No.
Anywho, so you notice now that the trail, because you've just gone. Now you notice that there is another right
Yep.
as the trail, because you've gone right, you've gone left. Now you're going another right.
Where did I put it?
Was a short rest, not a long rest.
Short.
Yeah. So I don't get the spell back.
No, you do not.
Yep.
Not yet.
Concentration stuff.
Yep.
In my...
That's that. It's all good.
It's on a long rest that I can change my spells, isn't it?
Yeah, that's then I can get at least spells back with the long rest.
So-
Druid.
I'm
What's he doing?
I'm
Ranger.
a ranger. Yeah.
But no, you can't change your spells.
I don't want to change my spells.
So are you guys going to go to the
We're going
Right.
to continue following the path, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I will actually not cast Pass Without the Trace to conserve my spells.
Yeah, no,
Fair
I
enough.
can do that.
but I will. I know. I will attempt to. What is it? And
Stealth, is that what you're saying? Or
no. Well, I already get being what race I am, a wood elf. I can hide in largely obscured foliage, heavy rain, snow, mist, other natural phenomena, just easily.
Is it not raining? Snowing.
But I'll probably is it-
Just
Before we
curious,
push on-
aesthetics.
high or low?
High.
Yeah, it's snowing.
Well, I
Just
mean,
like a light snow, maybe.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if it
Yeah.
was heavy
So you see-
snow,
you
I am
see,
the two
unbothered
Goliaths
by
here
this.
don't care.
And you'll just see this this character. He hasn't even introduced himself yet. Just sort of.
Neither has.
No one
neither
has
has
introduced you to each
Sort
other
of
in
becomes
game.
like obscured, a bit.
Did you roll your stealth?
No, yeah, I rolled stealth. So,
Because it lets you do it. It's not just automatically happens.
yeah. So that's 19 plus 8.
Yeah, you just disappear.
I
Something.
got 16.
And
Yep.
I'll probably
You're rolling
I'll probably
stealth.
spend a minute on
11.
everyone to camouflage yourself with hide in plain sight.
That ends once you move.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're still moving.
Oh, it's never. So I'll do
Yeah.
that when we. That's what I'll use when we ambush something.
Okay, so
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
disappear.
I got it.
a
Yeah.
9.
Yee.
11 myself.
20.
Okay. Alright, so you guys sort of move in. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to pick out my next one. Pardon me, stream, sorry, because I've got so many things I have to keep track of today.
And I'll probably probably be leading again.
Yeah, I'll follow
Lead all you
behind
want.
so that I can point the way that we're going.
Yeah. And I'll just go perception check
Oh.
because I'm gonna do that continuously.
Okay, roll me perception.
Because it's the Feywild.
Do you at least want to know what the areas that you're walking into looks first before you do the perception?
Yeah.
So when you walk in, you notice at this time it's the same sort of setup in terms of the 4 different kinds of portals in different ways. But you notice that the room here this time is 150 by 150. It is a pretty
Massive
Massive
clearing.
clearing.
I am definitely going to perception check this.
Yep, that's
Definitely more than enough room for a giant.
Or something worse. Like a beholder.
12.
19.
So
What's
natural
this
1!
Perception.
Why?
If you wanted to do
I
perception.
see nothing.
Alright. 26.
So how are you guys looking
10.
around here? What are you doing?
I'm
doing
going
a
to
scan.
I'm just
Is there
looking
anything-
for any threats.
any kind of building or anything in the clearing.
There's no building or anything clearing.
It's just an open clearing.
It looks like an open clearing. However, Adam, your character can sort of hear like flapping.
Oh god.
I'm gonna look up.
You
know-
didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it. Only he did.
Well, I suppose are you going to look up? Because you hear flapping.
Yeah, I will just quickly look up.
You notice above you, you see what looks to be a massive skeletal-like structure with black ooze kind of over its, outside of its
shit.
body.
I don't know
You
what that
notice
is.
2 wings sort of look tattering,
Uh,
and you see like sharp teeth and a massive tail.
I feel like I
And
know
I'll
what this
just
is.
say the foe strikes from above.
I'm gonna look
I
up.
look up.
Oh, look
Has
up.
it, has it seen us?
It has seen you as its pupilless visage looks down.
Oh.
Can I identify this?
I'm definitely doing that as
I
well.
would also like to do that.
What would be to see if I can
So-
identify the creature?
Nature or Arcana, I'll let people roll.
Okay.
And
that's
what's
better.
your favorite enemies?
I have giant, fey, and undead.
Does that do anything for identifying things for you?
It gives me
Advantage.
advantage on survival checks.
Then go.
And,
Oh no, on
and
Or,
in
and
checks
knowledge.
and
Yeah.
in checks to recall
Yeah.
information.
It's a
Yeah.
15 for me.
So I'll let you do that for that.
That was
Yeah,
a
I got a
9.
23.
That was a 16.
definitely nature. Nope. Better. That is 20.
For those who got a 20 or over, you do remember there have been stories about humanoids, sort of attaining eternal life through horrible axe and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what
But then you also notice that in very rare cases, dragons do the exact same thing. As you see, in
With a
fact, there's a
cultists.
Draco Lich right above, landing as you sort of do this identification, and it just lets out this roar.
I roar back.
I also roll back.
I'll probably tell you all since that is a Draco Lich.
Yay!
You're gonna have fun with this because if I remember correctly, this is actually an undead. So
Can we
there's
tell
any
what
bonuses.
colour Dracolich it is?
I'll let. Who here would be very in tune with that, with undead and arcane things in game?
It would probably be the druid or the cleric.
Yeah,
I'll let you
no.
three roll, or I'll let you two roll a
I have it as a favorite enemy, but I think that will help.
I'll let you two roll me a history or a perception or an insight or something like that to see if you can identify anything, any sort of tells that could possibly be what this is in terms of the color.
And
Oh.
insight, did you say?
Insight. Anything that you could identify that would let you.
That is 21.
Okay.
I'll just go again. No, identify what it is. I'm gonna go Hunter's Sense again.
Hunter's sense.
So I know everything about it. I don't need to roll anything.
You know for a fact
I've got one of those left though.
that this creature would, in fact, if it was to, it has a breath.
Yeah.
You know for a fact it'd be lightning if it was to strike you. So you get the feeling that it's a blue.
Mm-hmm.
You know for a fact that it's resistant to necrotic,
Of course.
immune to lightning and poison. It can't be charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned. And I'll give this to you as well. 2 languages it would know would be Common and Draconic.
I know Draconian.
I also know draconic.
I do not.
Yeah, I do. So,
As
but
a-
so no vulnerabilities.
No vulnerabilities.
No, but it's immune to necrotic
And
poison.
lightning.
Yeah.
I believe it's resistant to necrotic and immune to poison and lightning. Is
And
what
I
it
also,
said.
Oh yeah.
and as it lands, you all can't see it, but you hear scuttling as something's running away and into what looks to be another portal or another opening.
Okay. We're gonna punch it. I'm gonna punch it till it dies.
Roll me initiative.
Booyah.
Alright.
You know what? Fuck
Yes.
me. Concentration on find the path. This is more
Oh
important.
yeah.
8.
Yeah, that's 8.
20. Did you roll
I
what?
keep, yeah. I rolled a 1 and a 7.
Oh wow, okay.
So
Yeah, no, your dice are not playing nice with you tonight.
no, they
No,
were.
they're not.
They were.
7
just not
isn't
when I roll
too bad.
initiative.
I
Well,
will,
it's actually 8 because I've got a.
I will
+1.
ask you all this the same way I did before. So, who got 20 and higher? What do you two get?
20
20.
Who has a higher dex?
plus 1.
Also plus 1.
Roll off.
12 or 13.
I believe I've got a 13.
Yeah, roll off then.
I was going to say the modifier alone would be enough to say roll off again.
Wow.
18.
Yep.
Yep, so I'll go
So
first.
Gavin
and-
first. Again. Then Adam.
It's because I'm not playing an evil character. That's why the dice hate me.
So 19 to 15.
19 to 50.
14 to 10.
Oh wow, we're doing this again.
Okay,
I got an 8.
I got an 8 as well.
who's got the higher dex
Oh,
modifier?
plus 2.
That's you first.
Okay, so.
Emma.
Fuck.
Jessica.
We're even doing it with our dice now.
And Ben.
5.
Oh Christ.
Alright then.
That's like what, plus 4?
Gavin.
2 plus 3.
Oh fuck. Yeah, well, I mean, it's my turn first.
This huge undead construct of a creature has landed straight in front of all of you. Pretty much towards where you guys were. So he would be roughly, I'd say, about 80 feet. I'll say he's about 40 feet away from all of you at the moment.
I can get there easy. But, no.
Because this thing's not dumb, unlike the plants.
The Vanquisher is going to smile. This shall be glorious. And, as a bonus action, I would like to rage.
Goody.
I'm then going to run up, and I'm going to punch the ever-loving shit out of it.
Okay.
There's a 20. No, actually, sorry. There's a 31 hit.
Of
Yes.
course, Gavin.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot. Is it 9 or 10 that we have till for streaming again?
9.
9.
Oh yeah, we usually
We go till 9.
we go till 9. We like to. What time's it now?
It's
Like
7:49
7:51.
now.
7:49. So we'll see how quick you
after
do
this
this.
one, we'll probably want to
Yeah,
take a break.
after
Yeah.
this we'll take a 10-minute break. And a 25.
25. Okay.
Did
So
it hit?
39 and 25.
It's
So 31.
31 and 20.
They both hit.
Right.
So roll me your damage.
We're so quiet tonight.
I
That
know.
it is.
It's crazy.
I think it's because we've gotten like all our crazy characters out. and
Oh,
we're
no.
having it.
Oh no. That's 43 points of damage as he just slams this thing twice.
Done. It takes a hit. It sort of reels back a bit from the forces of the hit. As you manage to do a decent chunk to this thing.
I'm just wondering if I should do this.
Alright then. Is there anything else you can do, Gavin?
No, I bonus action. Done.
Alright.
And I did all of my movement to move up to it, so move up to range.
Yeah.
Okay then. Adam.
Yeah, I will cast Spiritual Weapon.
Sure.
And direct it to attack. So let's.
The spell attack mod.
Oh, okay. Then that would be a 23.
That hits.
All right.
What level are you going to cast it at? Because
It's just at
It's just
second
base.
level. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
And the really funny thing is that's only a bonus action.
Yes.
It's
So
such a
it's-
good
Spiritual
spell.
weapon is amazing.
It's such a good spell.
It is a
So
good spell.
yeah, it
It's really
takes
good.
6 points of force damage,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'll move up 30 feet, and I'll just use fuck it, I'll just use Thorn Whip,
Thorn Whip. Okay.
and yeah, that is
Roll to hit.
all right. Yep, that is a 26.
That hits.
All right.
Easy.
Taking all 3d6 of that damage.
And that is 12
What kind of damage?
piercing, I think.
Okay.
Piercing, I believe it's slashing, but
Well, that
Either way.
it counts magical as well, obviously.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's the
yes.
main thing I'm making sure of. Anywho, so is that everything you can do, Adam?
Yeah, that's everything I can do.
So as you do this, you notice that you sort of your whip and your weapon sort of dig in a bit to the bone of it. It doesn't seem there's a slight crack in there from the force of the two things, but it's not exactly looking too phased. So essentially, what it does next is it will sort of prop itself to fly up a bit, and those who are close to it can take a whack of opportunity or attack an opportunity, have a crack at it.
oh yeah,
yeah, I didn't reach up to it, so
yeah, he didn't get up
That's
to
fair
it in
enough.
range. However, that is a 32.
Roll your damage.
29 points.
29 points as it reels back a little bit as it's flying up, and then it sort of positions itself a bit backwards. Its jaw sort of unhinges and lowers a bit,
It's gonna.
and all notice this sort of blue white kind of energy sort of shoot out of its mouth a bit in this massive 90-foot cone.
Is it a cone?
Sorry, 90-foot line. My bad. 90-foot line.
How wide is the line? Because it'll give a.
5 feet.
yeah,
So 90 by 5 feet. Okay.
yeah.
So who is it aiming at? for the 5 foot line?
It's probably the one who's been trying to hit it so many times.
Sure. Okay. I get advantage on it because it's a scene effect.
Yeah.
How many people does it hit?
Yeah. How many people does it hit? Who else does it? Would it
How
hit?
was everyone
Well, if it-
positioned?
Well, if it's a 5 foot line,
Well, the rest
Yeah,
of-
I
the
would
rest of us
have
would
been
probably-
trying to just go for around it.
Yep. So not you.
The 3 of us were probably in the back.
yeah, we were still far back.
So
we're still like 40
it
feet
might
back.
have been hit. It might have hit one of the.
It might hit one of the 3 of you guys.
Alright.
and
Didn't
me.
it take off? So it's kind of flying while it's
Yep.
doing this.
Yeah, that
So-
way
and it's
it would
aiming
be
down at
aiming
Gavin.
at an angle.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
so it's
just
aiming
you.
just me.
Just you.
Just you.
Okay. I get advantage. I'm going to use my fanatical focus to reroll that.
Sure.
That was pretty good.
17. It'll still fail, I'm guessing.
Yep. Still fail.
Sure.
I-
Give me the damage.
All right. I'm not gonna roll for it because I take unless someone is willing to do it, but it's 12d10.
12d10.
But I think I'm just gonna use the preemptive damage because it's still
Yeah,
a lot.
just use it.
Yeah.
So you take 66 points of lightning damage.
Okay, I'm going to use my reaction and use to dampen elements. You take half of that.
Okay.
So 34
I
points of
take,
lightning
I
damage.
take 33.
Yep.
And furthermore, I'm actually
You
going
have a pencil beside you, remember?
and I'm actually also as a reaction, I'm going to use my stone's endurance because I'm a Goliath and I can do that.
So wait, what does that do exactly?
Reduce the damage by d12 plus combo.
All right.
So I'm currently taking 33. I am now taking 26.
Okay. 26
Pretty
points
good.
of that's pretty good from a 66. And considering I only need to fly up a little bit just to get there, it's still got roughly around 30 feet. So it's going to diagonally go down a bit and position itself sort of between. Who doesn't want to go close to? Because it has 80 feet of flying speed.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of flying speed.
So it goes towards you
Of course.
and positions itself right in front of you.
I'm gonna say because we were all
We
three
were
of
all
us.
together.
Yeah.
So all 3 of you, you have this
Right.
Dracolich going towards you and right in
Whose
front
turn
of you.
is it?
Not mine.
It is not his turn because right now it would have to be Emma's.
Okay. So it's right in front of me. I'm gonna
Right in front of
angle
you.
it so it doesn't hit any of my friends. Sunbeam!
Yes. Yes.
So because it's an undead, it has to roll with disadvantage on a con save.
It uses one of its legendary resistances to succeed.
So it takes half
It
damage.
does take half.
Takes half damage.
Question though.
But it's still radiant damage.
Yeah.
You do, it does. That does break concentration though. Before the
Yeah. Actually, no. Oh, I meant to do something before it.
Oh, you already
Cross
called
out.
it.
Dang it, I meant to be like, I check which way we're gonna go. I was too excited.
Well, I mean, you would.
Dang it! I
Well,
was
to
gonna.
be
Everybody loves Sunbeam.
To be fair,
I was
you would
too
still,
excited. I even thought to
you would
myself,
know-
I was
you
like,
would know
okay,
that
check that and then cast.
You would know
Dang
that.
it.
You'd still know that information anyway because it's just a constant. You know the shortest route, the shortest direct route.
I'm assuming though it'd only be for 24 hours. You could track that route though.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of the spell.
Yeah.
However, as I've
Would I
said,
know like the next turn at least from here?
um,
I wouldn't know anything beyond that, but like,
no, but I am. What I will tell you this between things is I have already given you a hint of how you would determine where to go next.
The wind.
The wind.
Follow the
The
wind.
wind.
Follow the wind.
Okay, can I borrow some d8s?
How many d8s do you need?
Because it is.
Because there's 4.
it's
I have the app.
Hang on, no, I'm gonna roll it. It's.
She wants to
There's
roll
4
it.
more d8 for
I
you.
just need one more.
Also, Michael, with the way it moved again, would that get? Would it have moved out of my reach?
Yeah.
Again, so I'm gonna make another opportunity attack against. Actually, no, I
You
can't do that
can't.
because I used
No.
my reaction already.
No,
Uh-huh.
what I mean is you can't. It
was
have even
flying.
your swiping range too. It was flying,
Oh, okay, it was out of my hit range as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
and only one reaction.
Yeah, no, I already used my reaction. I just remember that. Done.
So it's 25
However, I have used my strength
reduced down
endurance.
to
So that's fine.
12, but it's radiant damage.
And I'm also
Radiant
using
damage?
I've
So
also
12.
used my fanatical focus for that.
Yes.
So the.
But
for the round.
it was 25 reduced down to 12.
Wait a minute.
So
you
it's right in
wouldn't
front of
been
me,
able to
right?
use stones
It is
endurance
right in
because
front of
already
you,
waited
but
an
it's
opportunity
Jessica's
attack.
turn now.
I know.
We've also there
did
is a glowing
I have
light.
plans.
When this thing flew
Unless
up in the
you're
first
still
place.
here too. Unless it's you still got
That is true.
stuff to do, you can do.
So I'm just.
Not doing anything as a bonus
I
action.
made an. I forgot. I actually made an opportunity attack when it flew up in the first place, so I wouldn't have been able to use Stone's Endurance. So I take 7 more damage, which puts me up at 44. As
Okay.
much as that matters.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you KOing up your
do
damage?
you feel?
I have so much HP, I may as well do that instead. It's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier math-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you reckon you need healing?
No.
Do you want healing?
No.
Or does anyone else want healing? No.
I haven't taken any damage yet.
Okay, well never mind.
Not yet, anyway.
He's the only one that's ever taken damage.
Douche douche.
And you don't want healing.
No, I don't.
You can keep your smelly, soft person healing.
He's the one that kills everyone. Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
So I'm gonna draw my maul.
Yep.
I'm gonna scream in his face and go into a rage.
Roll me intimidation,
Do you get a frenzy?
or even roll me
Actually,
performance.
no.
One of the two of this is just more for your benefit.
Now, hang on. Intimidation. Do I get?
It's a plus 10. If you sorry, it's expertise because you've got
Is it
menacing.
just-
You can
No,
also.
I only have proficiency.
Did you?
Like, are you
actually,
trying
no,
to,
It's expertise if you already have proficiency. You get
Oh,
expertise.
did you not
No,
already have
I
proficiency?
didn't already have proficiency.
Or did you not take proficiency in intimidation as part of your barbarian stuff?
No, I didn't. I had proficiency in other stuff.
Okay.
17.
It doesn't look phased, but it's still pretty damn terrifying for everyone else around you, except for the dragon.
And
would
then
it
I'm
terrify
going
me?
to.
Probably not.
Not particularly, but it's more fulfilling of, oh, well, okay,
You
right.
might even find it hot.
Yeah.
She's
Being
like,
a barbarian.
"Ah!" And then she's gonna swing at it twice.
A roll to scream to seduce the other barbarian. Okay.
That's a 14 and a 25.
I'm gonna.
The
angrily-
25 hits.
I'm gonna angrily.
25 hits?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
angrily get him in my bed. Angrily.
She's intending on it.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh,
Hey, that's her whole point.
hey, all you know is maybe Guy's the strongest barbarian of all the lands. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more.
Yeah. Wait. Say the more.
He rolls to intimidate, alright.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Anyway.
19 damage.
19 damage, that's pretty good. It is actually looking bloodied. If an undead structure could be bloodied, that is.
She's
It's-
just like,
it's-
come at me.
It's falling apart.
It's starting to fall apart a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's leaking more black stuff.
Yes, it is. Is there anything else you can do?
No, she's just gonna be like, come at me.
Roll persuasion.
Yes, distract it so I can punch it. Flanking.
Persuasion. That's a 4.
Still enough. It is going to, as a legendary action, attack you with its tail.
Oh, it's gonna make a tail sweep. That's gonna hurt.
Does a 19 hit you?
A 19 does hit me.
So it's going to tail attack you now. For 2d. You take 17 points of damage.
Halved.
I halve it.
Yeah.
Barbarians.
So.
So either 8 or 9.
Or 8.
Yep.
Right, you always round down.
Okay, so 8.
Alright. So this thing is right in front of us, right?
Yep.
Alright. I would like to... So how is it just right directly in front of us or a bit further away? Like how far away would it be?
It'd be quite in your face because it literally landed right
Within
in front of
5
you.
feet.
So
Okay.
it's like right there.
It's like hi.
So I would like to attempt to jump onto it.
Okay.
You're gonna ride the dragon.
Are you going to try running up the side? Are you trying to flip on? How are you trying to do this? Is my question to you.
No, pretty much it'd be like run towards it if it's and like sort of grab like one of its teeth or something and lift myself up onto it. So I'll be athletic. So it's climbing.
All right.
Now considering I have the dragon's attention.
Yeah.
Can he do that with advantage?
It wasn't more the attention, it just heard you and went smack. If you
Okay.
go a bit high, it would have done
Yeah.
more than just try to tail attack. It would have wing attacked you or
Don't
something.
fanny
Well,
dice.
wing attack is just everybody.
Yeah, I know, but
Can I advise against doing that?
Why?
Because I still have Sunbeam up.
It's okay. You can actually aim it.
it's
in,
pretty big, so
You can aim it in such a way where you
Or I could
won't
say,
hit
I could like, I
or
could,
anything.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
like try and jump onto it. I'm gonna try and kill this thing.
Avoid
Like
the
you do in,
beam of
in
light.
Skyrim when you kill dragons.
Wait, so you want to try insta-kill this dragon?
No, I'm gonna try and like jump onto the back of the dragon.
Alright.
You know what? I should probably do that too, and I'm gonna use my strength to probably drive its face straight into the ground.
So it'll be athletics.
In your turn, you can try
yeah,
it.
that's what I mean. on
So
my turn.
athletics, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't screw me, dice. Natural 20.
Oh, yeah! Okay. Because you got the nat 20, I'm going to say you got right easily up on top
Well,
of its head up
20
there.
plus 8, so 28.
You're right on top of its noggin, and you still have an action you can do something
But that's
with.
just moving.
You know, I'm actually going to do one other thing really quick, considering you've got time and you're making the effort. High or low?
I'll go for high.
What you notice is there's kind of a little crack right there, quite deep inside the skull.
Oh, weak spot.
Then that's movement done. Bonus,
It's officially a boss monster.
bonus action.
It's time as well. If you're going to do something like that, it could easily get you killed.
bonus
I'm gonna
action.
reward it.
Slayer's Prey.
Yeah.
So I get a D6 to it, and I'll draw the Sunblade
Sure.
and go for like 2 strikes into that.
Roll with
Broken arrow.
advantage.
All right.
It looks like it's a bit suppler here for some weird reason.
So 14 plus 8.
That'll hit.
Okay.
Wait, what's your dex? Your dex is 3, right?
Yeah.
It'll be plus 10. 'cause
I'm
it's a
strength based ranger.
Oh, you're strength based.
Yeah.
Oh, even so, it's still a plus 2 weapon.
And then that is that'll be 18 plus 2 then for that one.
Right, so they both will hit.
It'll be. I'll probably go for.
Are you okay, Corner Gremlin?
Yeah, you're okay, Colin.
I'll go the D.
Do you need to go to the bathroom or
So I'm
something?
holding on to it. So I'll go D8. What
Probably.
you D8.
It'd be 2d8 because
Yeah.
it's an undead.
Well,
Sunblade has extra things.
Yeah.
so I'll go. So then be. So both attacks hit. So overall that will be 4d8
48
Yeah.
plus
plus
oh,
my strength of plus 3
yeah, plus 2, so it'd be
plus 5 then.
so it'd be 48 plus 10.
So 5. That's 15 then. 7,
22,
3,
25,
8.
32,
Yeah, 32 points of damage then.
30, sorry, 33.
You-
33 points.
So 33.
Yeah.
You notice that because you managed to hit this one particular spot, your sword goes in a fair bit deeper than it usually
fine.
would. And you see a big fissure of a crack start to appear right down the side of its
Oh,
face.
it's also extra D6 because of Hunter's Prey. I
Twice.
forgot that last time. So another 3. So 4 plus.
An extra 4.
Yeah, extra 4 points of damage.
For some weird reason, you notice that there's a lot of cracks down this thing now.
Yeah.
You've managed a very weakened area. In fact, you notice that there's a very small hole, quite where its brain sort of
Yep.
was at one point.
Yep.
Which is a bit peculiar in what you think, but
Yep.
yeah.
And I'll be staying on top of the dragon.
You're staying on top of the dragon.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's
Alright,
Oh, well, it's gonna do things, yeah.
tell me, everyone, within 10 feet of it,
Sure.
roll me your dexterity saving throws, people.
Well, I'm not within 10 feet of it, actually.
I am. I think
Yeah.
I've got a thing for Dex then.
Yeah.
Does that count for him?
No, I'm on top of the dragon.
Oh yeah, you have to do it too.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Dex.
Yeah, yeah.
Saving throw? Okay.
13.
Even so, I get a non-natural 20.
So.
Ha! I
It
have
doesn't
advantage.
even affect you, so why?
Just, just in case it, like,
10.
he does decide I am in a position that it doesn't. I may as well just do it anyway, because
Well, that
everything within
wasn't
10
too
feet of, like,
That's a 10.
18,
of a, like, huge creature.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Alright, who got below 21?
Yeah.
You guys take 14 points of bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone.
And I'm
I
fine. I
actually
got
take half of that.
22.
Yeah,
was it
well, I mean,
14?
it wouldn't affect me because I'm not
Yeah,
within 10
so
feet.
that's a concentration check.
Yeah, it's a con check. So that
Which
would
is
be
awesome.
DC 10.
Because, like...
You
It's
decided
DC 10 or
Park
half
comes
damage,
back.
which is
No,
great.
that's fine,
Half
yeah.
damage is 7.
Because Slayer
Just
play
D6.
allows me to get supernatural defense, so I get an extra D6 to my
Yeah,
save.
that's a 17. So I.
Oh yeah, you pass.
Yeah.
You
I got
pass easy.
22.
Alright,
Oh, that's very
so
I'm just holding on.
that was a reaction. That was a
one
reaction.
reaction.
Your turn,
Back
Gavin.
to the top of the initiative. Cool. What I would like to do is I would also like to climb it.
Oh,
And
dang it.
Get up to where Ben is.
Sure.
Well,
Roll me
Let's-
an athletics.
Quickly
Let's all get
retcon.
on the dragon.
I'm good at
Um,
athletics.
since he's got my Slayer's Prey,
No dragon.
I can use Slayer's Counter to use my reaction to an additional attack before the saving throw happens.
Fine, roll.
That's a thing that you can do, yes.
Yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
Is that like once per long rest, or is
That
it just
is-
a reaction?
they're just reaction, so that's
Wow.
18 plus...
That hits.
Yeah, so it'd be 2d8 again.
Roll me your damage.
Yeah. So 2, so 5, 6, so that's another d6, so it's 12,
That
plus 3,
is-
13, 14, 15.
Where are you hitting this thing?
Just the same place.
How do you want to do this?
Sweet.
Oh,
So we don't
damn
take,
it!
So we don't take that damage.
Yeah.
So we don't take that damage.
I'll say you don't take the damage if you did it before.
Yeah, no,
I
you
do,
don't
yeah,
have
it happens
damage.
before. I have to read these.
So how do you
things.
want to do this?
So pretty much, I'm up on this dragon. As it does for its thing, I quickly bring out my heavy crossbow
Mm-hmm.
and load silver bolts into it.
Yep.
And just fire. Fire 3 shots into the thing. So then it penetrates through its skull, go through the top of the skull, through the mouth, out of the neck area.
Yep.
And then I will, for flavor, I will then sort of like so go for a jump, do a flip, land 3-point landing, and with the
Walk away as it crumbles
I'll
behind
bring
you.
I'll bring the swords out. I'm doing that, and then walk away as it sort of comes to dust.
Also give yourself a point of inspiration.
Sweet.
Because the whole thing is, if you failed that whole jump on there immediately in the first place, I would have argued that
Yeah.
there's a good chance you probably would have ended up
Yeah.
in its mouth. Or
Yeah,
would have
no.
done really bad stuff.
Natural 20.
I would have got the 30 on that athletics to climb up there.
There are many wonderful prospects for husbands here.
So what you notice is,
I kind of like, because I'm the only one left
So,
sitting beside you. I
it
kinda, like,
crumbles
look at
down
you, like,
as you notice that its
why?
body now is limp. And for some weird reason, you notice that where its head was, for some weird reason, you notice a powdered diamond there or something.
Mm-hmm.
As if maybe you hit a spot of it which it didn't particularly want to have touched.
Yeah.
And
Bad touch, bad touch.
Bad touch, stranger danger.
and yeah, so you now have the corpse of this Draco Lich in front of you.
Yeah.
Shall we do some very quick investigations of the corpse of the Dracolich?
Sure.
Is there anything else in the clearing? Or
Did
is
you
it
know
just
things
a
about
Dracolich?
how you would probably know that Dracoliches have phylacteries and shit?
Yeah. I
I
know
think
that.
As
I
he
think that is probably the thing he just hit.
Yeah, probably just
He
killed it for that.
described, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Still gonna investigate it anyway, see if it had anything good hiding
Found the
on it.
bloody weak spot for nat 20.
Yeah. My dice starting to like me
Yeah.
again.
I mean, it's a nat 20, so.
I reward those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably go for like an investigation, see if there's anything of
Yeah.
worth or
After
any
this, we
signs
want
of
to
what could,
Yep.
where it'd go and whatnot.
I'll
Be at
also do
19.
the same.
So that's an 18 for me straight. Because I got 0 I have intelligence of 10.
Yeah, I have an intelligence of 11,
Yeah.
so.
So 18 for my investigation.
16 for mine.
You look around a bit. You look inside. You notice nothing inside from the spots where you've had a look. You being a hunter, though, you sort of look around a bit more,
Yeah.
and something kind of catches your eye.
Mm-hmm.
You notice, weirdly enough, in its actual bowels of this creature, you notice what looks to be a set of blue, scaly-looking armor.
Ooh, nice.
It has blue dragon scale mail in its up.
I don't think I can wear that.
It's medium,
What?
so you could.
Yeah, but it really doesn't.
I mean, maybe it ate some dude. The dude dissolved in its stomach, and he was wearing the armor.
I will probably walk up to it. I'll probably notion someone who knows Arcana, so your character. And I don't know your character's name. Hasn't you introduced your character?
I did introduce. Oh no.
No, so I'll say, you, Druid. Can you help me identify this, please?
Not
Well,
that
since
great
you
with,
said
like,
please,
I'm not that great with
He's a nice
identifying
guy.
things, but I'll try. Now one.
Natural one.
you think it is the magical mithril pebble of pig smiting.
Give me a look. I walk up and have a look at it.
I'll also have a
I'm
look
not
at
that
it.
great with magical.
Nope, it's a
items.
7.
That's an 8.
I didn't take proficiency in it.
Oh,
Well, now you know at least you have a nice shiny set of scaly armor
Yeah.
right there, which you could probably take.
no,
It's
easy.
metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't wear it.
Actually, is it metal?
If
no,
it's
actually,
dragon
no.
scale, it wouldn't be.
No, it's not.
Do you have?
It's
Oh,
high.
do you have proficiency in medium?
Yes.
Well, then yeah, you could wear it because it's dragon scales.
However, you also feel a wind blowing essentially again, and it's going forward.
So,
Can we?
I would suggest we have our break.
Yeah, we have our
Yeah,
break.
have a
Yeah.
break.
Yes.
Alright,
So,
be back with you in a bit.
Yeah,
In
be
10
back to you in
minutes.
like 5-10 minutes.
Time's it now?
Alright, so you stop.
let us know when we're live. We're good?
Alright.
Live?
Alright, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Well,
I need to join.
welcome back to our
Hello.
little dungeon of depravity.
So next week Adam's not going to be here, so
Yeah.
I'll be doing the
Yeah.
DMing.
And whether or
like-
not I am going to be here is up in the air and a bit iffy as well.
So let's see what I get. What am I throwing you guys through?
What are we doing?
Orgies.
Mountains.
Mountains, another terrain
Mountains.
one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If I was here, I'd probably play Horvin again because of his fixation with rocks.
I'm going to play another Goliath because then I don't have to worry about the altitude of the world.
I'm
Unless you
looking forward to a lot of Goliaths and a lot of dwarves.
and I'm guessing you. I mean, that is. I hope
Screw
that
that,
you
I'm
don't just
gonna
drop a
play
mountain
an
on us.
Aarakocra.
Do it.
Oh, you and your fucking
Another
bird
thing, I
monks.
possibly would consider would be running a Shadow Kai barbarian.
Anyway.
Wait until
Yeah.
the next week.
Yeah, anyway.
So-
Okay,
Wait,
so you'll see what we have next week.
Okay,
This would be fun.
so to set the scene, this grove, even though looks a bit dead due to the winter nature of everything, it's still fairly pretty looking. But the main beautiful attraction right now is a heaping pile of crushed Dracolich right in the center.
Yes. This makes me very happy.
Well, not center, more towards where you guys entered, but still.
The
There
foe
are-
has been slain.
There are many pleasant husband prospects in this party.
I would like to shatter its skull with my fist.
It's already been shattered.
It's already been broken.
It was broken. I mean, I just want to literally just shatter the entire thing.
He wants it to
Sure.
be powder.
Okay, let's see how long it's going to take you. Okay.
With a plus
You-
15 to hit.
You keep shattering it, but as you keep going there, you just start hearing some loud, not like some big, like a big creature's footsteps behind, like further back there.
Yeah, if
Yes.
Oh, we should go now.
Yes.
Go,
We
let's
should
leave.
go
Let's
now.
leave.
Because I know exactly what that is.
But-
We should go now.
Why are we running?
Why are we running?
We should leave before this thing spots us.
However, it sort of feels like the uneven kind of footsteps a bit.
I don't know what this is, but we should leave.
Can I try to identify it?
No.
I mean, if you want, look,
yeah, the wind brings us to our objective, so follow the wind.
I
Follow the
mean,
wind.
if someone here wants to try hearing and have an idea of what it could be, sure, go ahead.
I can go
Without
for that.
seeing it, I'll let you guys
I
try
can do
it
that.
if you really want to.
So nature, I guess.
20.
I'll say nature, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, nature, what were you going to do?
Perception.
Or
Try and hear it.
survival?
And
Because it's based on
You
the...
can hear it.
I suppose I
You
can
can,
do
you
it.
can hear it, but
Well,
you
that's
don't
just a 17 then.
So on perception?
yeah, if you want to.
With the perception.
19.
So this is nature, perception, or survival. Either one. Or
For you, I'll say any of those will be fine because I'm pretty sure it is an undead thing, but I'm still going to have a quick look.
so 19 for me.
Oh, you're going back. Okay, you're going back in there.
Yeah.
I see.
And you got 19.
19. You don't know. I'm trying to find it in here first. I didn't have
You
the.
don't know yet.
I know what it is. I'm just trying to get the right page because I've seen it before and I loved it.
Oh, goody.
I
But-
need more testing for potential husbands.
But yeah, all you know is it's
I
pretty
don't think
big.
you're in the monster section.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Back
the
there.
second half is.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it particularly because it is a pretty terrifying thing. But all you know is it sounds big, it sounds scary, and you possibly don't want to be around when it hits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Is
guessing
one.
you don't remember its name.
I know it was an undead, but it didn't pop up as undead, annoyingly enough. It's that thing I told you about before. I showed you that was, or I showed Gavin that was terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what it's called?
It was.
Sorry, guys, because
It's a big thing with horns.
Anyway, what you know is it's a big undead, and I'll tell you if I find it here, but you get the weird
Let's-
feeling that it's coming from where you just went.
I'll go bonus action vanish.
Vanish?
Well, I guess we can leave.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go. We're gonna leave.
I want to fight it, but
I'm gonna
We
stealth.
should leave.
Yeah, pretty much. I just.
we should go. Yeah. Oh, here it is.
oh,
Yeah. So who got a 20?
I got a 19.
I also got a 19.
What's this to
Or 19?
stealth?
To
Yeah, 19.
Identify it.
Identify.
Oh, I didn't.
Because I will be using one of these in my next campaign at some point. You heard of these these huge undead creatures?
Mm-hmm.
2 horns with a shadowy mist, sort of goatee kind of like legs are more
That
like
does not sound
hooves. Shadows bail off it, big massive claws. You've heard this thing called a Night Walker,
Oh, crap.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so.
and it's coming your direction, but
So
its
I
pace
go-
is very slow.
I go bonus action, vanish.
Yeah.
We're
And
leaving.
my
You know-
character just.
You know that gif of that guy that just goes and vanishes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm still
Like,
raging, so I'm like, I've still got my maw in my hand. I'm like getting ready to fight it.
I grab you on the shoulders and I turn you around.
It's getting
That way.
really loud now, as if it's
Let's-
really close.
You know,
Run.
we're
Yeah,
going.
just
Let's
run.
run.
Yeah.
Everyone
Okay,
run.
I'll give in.
We shall run.
So as you guys go towards the clearing, which you probably already guessed how you can identify.
You know, I went,
Yeah,
well,
the wind. Follow
I'm
the
gonna
wind.
definitely. I hid, so I went 28 to stealth,
So you've hidden, and
and I vanished.
the rest-
and there's no tracks or anything. I just
So is
disappeared in
any-
the woods.
so is anyone just leaving straight away?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
to
no,
where.
I'm just.
You
Yeah,
know for a
definitely
fact that
more.
it is indeed to the left.
We'll go left then.
We're gonna go to the
Alright.
To the
As-
left, to
As
the
you go
left.
through though, you see its form just enter the clearing, where
Just
you
as
just
we
came,
leave.
and you see something like this.
Ooh,
It's so cool.
That looks.
That
It's
sounds
so
Cool.
cute. I want to give it a hug.
Wow.
It will
Oh,
kill you.
what?
It
It looks
will
like
kill
it
you.
needs a hug.
Alright, you know what? Why am I surprised? You find the weirdest things cute.
Yeah.
If
There's
it's creepy,
two
it's
false
cute.
things in
Again-
that statement.
Again, I could say a
it's
comment
cute
here.
and I want to give it a hug. Those are two false statements.
Again, I could make a comment here, but I don't want to burn people on the stream, so let's continue.
Yeah.
So you make your way after you see this hoot thing go what looks to be a different direction from where you're going, but you sort of notice though that in its one of its hands, you kind of see what looks to be basically a green dragon, an adult green dragon in its claw,
A green dragon in its claw.
like a dead one.
A dead green dragon. I bet that's probably what brought stuff here, and I bet we're probably gonna have to fight it because it's the final boss of the game.
And it just disappears off to the side.
Oh
We
yay!
could have taken it, I tell you.
No.
We could have done it.
No.
Only the
just-
foolish seek fights.
Excuse you.
We weren't seeking it. It was coming to us.
We could have.
yeah,
Let us move on.
Is that the husband you're looking for?
So yeah, I would have followed, but I'd be like in the tree tops,
So,
walking quietly.
When you make it to this sort of another clearing that looks clear, you notice a wooden hut in the center that actually looks a bit dilapidated, but it's actually functioning.
I've still got to go perception check.
Yeah,
in there.
perception.
From
That
my
seems
vantage point of the
You
tree.
notice lots of like herbal plant, like obviously herbal plants. A lot of like herbal constructs sort of growing around plants.
15.
You also notice a halfling on the front porch, sort of like on a carved out like rocker chair.
Oh yeah. This guy. I got 18. 18 from my
Make an
perception.
insight on the halfling.
Sure.
I'm also going to
Alright,
insight
so
the
I'm
halfling.
I'm okay with insight. Oh, that's pretty good. 23.
No.
He looks pretty harmless, but he has seen you,
Hasn't seen me. I'm in the tree.
and he
hiding.
sort of beckons you all forward.
I step forward without a hesitation. I say,
I
greetings.
Also, I also step forward without hesitation.
Greetings.
You
I'll
just,
just be cautious.
you just hear.
I'm in the trees, just watching.
Sup?
Oh yep. Yep. I know who this is.
How's it going, man?
I am no man.
What are you doing in the forest? Things is pretty weird around here right now.
Yeah,
From
we
my
are.
insight, can I tell
We're
if
killing
he's
undead.
high?
That's a bit metagamey.
No, but like that's generally
from
how
his
he's
tone.
talking. But like I rolled a
Sure,
23 on his
sure.
insight.
Why not? Yes, he is a bit high at the moment.
Okay, I'm not going to talk much anything.
I'm glad you survived out there. There's this big goat thing walking around at the moment.
Yeah, we saw it.
What's the goat
What
thing
is
doing?
what is the small one doing in the Feywild Forest?
I live here, man. I'm a druid.
Oh.
It's also the most private place I can find to help those in need.
He obviously needs
I kind
grow
of-
his pot.
I turn to him and I speak in Druidic. What circle are you from?
Circle. Why, I see all the little critters and I can talk to them and it's all good, man.
He's Circle of the Shepherd.
Yeah, circle of the shepherd. Okay.
So
Do
you...
you know what happened to this forest? There's just
Oh yeah,
undead
there was
everything.
this tainted like thing that came in. It was a like medium-sized thing with a robe, man. I couldn't see its face, but it brought this taint with it. It was so horrible. Have you seen my plants?
I look at the plants.
Some of them look to be slightly wilting now and everything. You can tell like a few actual proper medicine-y like herbs and that sort of stuff. And
Okay. That is not good. I am proficient in medicine, so.
however, it seems to have made its nest or its dwelling in the big tree in the center. I'd go see it, but I'd try to keep that big goat thing out from my grove.
Your herb garden.
From your space. Man. Dude.
Are you mocking me, man?
Of course not, dude.
Wow, that is just spiteful.
No, it's not spiteful. It's just like, you know how like
You start to slip into it.
no, you know how like when there's like that parrot that's trying to understand the lingo,
Oh,
dude.
An
like-
uncle that got drunk once, and every third word he says was man.
I mean,
But-
man.
Could you perhaps give us direction to this large tree in the center?
Yeah, you just gotta take the right over there.
Okay.
Looking to the
Okay.
left.
Okay, so we gotta go that way.
Yeah, and then that should take you straight to it. This big waterfall-like thing with huge amount of stairs that lead up. It's quite the climb.
Ha,
It is a direct
I'll
path,
be
though.
fine.
It is a direct path from here, yes.
Thank you very much.
If you wish to rest a bit, though, it looks like you all had a bit of a scrap.
I took no damage again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I could take for the spell slots, but that's about it.
Yeah, same.
I've used
I mean,
I've
it's
used
safe here.
2 of my higher level spell slots, but
I want to use one spell slot.
Look
The
I-
only thing
I
I'm
can
lacking
like-
is a second level spell slot. So
Like, take a rest, look inside, see if there's anything that you may want to possibly take with you. I don't have any real need for it.
are you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if there's promises of gear, I'll have a look.
Free stuff.
I mean,
I'm sure.
what kind of rest are we thinking? Are we thinking short or are we thinking long? Because
I
long-
don't really need either.
Same.
I'll take it, but I don't need it.
Yeah, I've only used one spell slot for this entire session.
Yeah, you used your pass without trace.
Yeah.
So
We don't need a rest.
Oh, we don't need the rest.
And I've taken no damage, and I'm currently hidden in the trees, so
Yeah,
I'm pretty
we
safe.
haven't taken any damage. Well,
Well,
I
I've
mean,
only
I'm
taken
sorry
8
from
points
you.
of damage.
yeah, but I'm okay.
But you don't have
Let's
to
have a look-
give
let's-
us things.
Let's have a look at what he has, because I mean,
Show us your wares, oh small man.
anything that
They're in the house. If you don't see them, then
let's go have a look.
And
Okay.
Dromaki goes inside.
The Vanquil shot also goes inside.
I'll just keep watch outside. In
okay.
the trees.
People, if you want to have a look around inside his house, make me an insight perception, some sort of roll investigation. It's a bit of a mess, but you can tell he's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
stay outside.
Perception.
I
Right.
don't want his stuff.
27.
I'm not
22.
gonna take
27. You
random-
say?
Yeah.
hermit druid stuff.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna
25.
sit there talking to him about the Fey Forest. And
Well, we'll
stuff.
get to that soon.
Just having a
He
chat.
says you should find the key to the temple in there as well. Can't miss it. Pretty bright thing.
I mean, I rolled a 22.
So Fulani got 27. You notice that you look through a bookshelf of his he has, and you notice that one of the tomes has this weird magical feeling to it. Kind of a bit bright.
One of the symbol page things.
Symbol things.
Simple page things.
You mean book?
That's the
Yes,
word.
she actually knows what that is.
How do you not know what a book is?
I mean,
I'm not a moron.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
He
Of course, you would know what a book is.
He comes from a tribe in the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That
would
is
know.
true, but even they might have books like
No, they
made out of-
probably
No!
use papyrus.
No, I suppose not.
He doesn't have shit.
He doesn't know anything about whacking things in nature. Which is
Any
pretty good.
tribe wouldn't have a book,
Unless they do trade with outside.
Yeah, unless they
Yeah.
trade with outside.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
Well,
you said
and they
yours
felt the
don't.
need for a book.
They have
Yeah,
staple-
lizard folk don't have needs for books.
they have probably like stories, just tell stories.
Yeah, oral
So-
Yeah,
tradition.
oral, yeah.
You see this symbol thing. You notice that it feels slightly warm actually on the cover.
And who's in the building?
Just the two Goliaths.
The two Goliaths.
I'm outside keeping watch.
You two. Which one of you can read these symbols?
I hold my hand out for the book. I've just got this flat look on my face like,
And it's-
you are not the one.
And it's not.
She suddenly decided, nope, not
Yeah.
that one.
I don't want any of that, lizard. Scaly children may not be a good idea.
Wow.
Whoops.
I don't think lizard folk and Goliath can even have kids, so, but
I mean,
She doesn't care.
Exactly.
She's just looking for somebody who's stronger than her to breed with.
Wow.
okay, I'll
Yeah.
just give her the book.
Okay, she takes the book. She opens it up.
You notice that it looks like there's actually been a bunch of pages cut out to make like a square-like slot.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that there's literally, for his own benefit, it says the key because he's, he must have had one of those moments where his mind roamed a bit. And you see what looks to be this sort of circular looking, like a medallion kind of thing. It actually has sort of a picture of what looks to be like a tree on it and everything, and feels quite
I
warm.
think
and-
I know what this is.
What's your alignment?
I'm lawful neutral.
Alright then,
I didn't write down my alignment. I probably should.
tell me.
You're probably good.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some sixes.
Because I'm not actually touching what's in there yet.
Good point. But no, you sort of get this weird feeling that this thing definitely looks like it's needed.
Okay. I close the book, leaving the thing in there, and I tuck it under my arm,
Mm-hmm.
and I look around the room for anything else that might be of use.
Alright, so what did the other people in here roll as well?
I rolled a 25.
I rolled 22.
27, so.
Okay.
You can look.
On the wall, you do notice, however, that there seems to be what looks to be an axe,
Oh no.
like a great axe looking like thing.
I know what that is.
I'm trying to flip and find it in here. If I can't find it, I'm just going to make it another item. Oh, that works. So, yeah, you see an axe. It sort of has like a rocky kind of outlook to it, like a coppery kind of composition, white kind of tassels coming off the side of it, sort of like a coppery thing. 2 teeth kind of embedded to one of the sides down, one
You
of the-
have my attention.
Oh, is it
and it sort of looks a bit rough around the edges, but it does look to be quite a interesting piece for anyone who has viewed it.
Hold on.
I walk over to it and I put my hand on it.
You do feel you don't know quite how to feel about this, but it feels sort of right in your hands.
I lift it up off of its holdings on the wall and I kind of swing it around a little bit.
It's pretty well weighted for someone such as yourself.
I walk out and I'm like, small man, what is this?
But as you take it off as well, when you turn around and say small man, you're still in the room, Adam?
Yeah.
You notice that there's a pair of what look to be silvery looking gauntlets with faces on them, like a hairy, feral looking thing.
Is it the...
And they were holding the thing up like over a pair of what looks to be sort of mannequin-y like hands, as if, you know, as a placeholder for them.
I'll grab the gauntlets.
That was the I rolled an 18 on Arcana to see if I can't try and identify that axe.
You sort of get the feeling that, you know, this axe definitely seems to be magical in nature.
Yeah.
But you can't quite put your finger on exactly what it is, because you're a barbarian, and you hear things and hearsay with Arcana, but it's not exactly your strongest field, being...
I don't have proficiency, and
Exactly.
I have 11 in intelligence.
Yeah. So it's not exactly your thing, but you know this axe looks a bit special.
Okay.
You don't know how the hell a halfling druid got his hands on it, mind you, but it's here.
He has his ways.
Can
He
I
does
Arcana
have
the
his ways.
gloves then?
The gauntlets.
Gauntlets.
Yeah,
Adam's the one holding those, so you can
Okay.
try arcanaing them now if he wishes.
Alright, I guess I'll do that. 5.
You don't know.
Yeah, I'll just put them on then.
Do they fit his hands?
They fit his hands. And then there's one other item as well you notice in here, for whoever's still in the room.
Me.
So
There's
Yeah.
also seems to be what looks to be off to the slight right, as if, you know, kind of lying around. You notice what looks to be sort of a weird hammer-like looking weapon. That's sort of greyish in nature. Has a face of an angry kind of looking man on there. Circular sort of things as the bindings. And-
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're going for. Okay.
And essentially that's there as well.
Small man, what is this?
What's what?
This. She
Yeah.
waves the
yeah.
axe around
oh
his
yeah,
face.
that axe.
Oh,
Yeah, the giant electric dude walked around with it, gave it to me, apparently said keep it away from people and his kin.
What does it do?
Oh well, you know, it's good against big humanoid looking like creatures.
Huh.
You don't want it. Just out of game. If I'm correct.
Yeah,
you
this is
don't
a question. Could a Goliath even actually wield this, because they are part giant?
They're giant kin.
I'd argue you could wield it.
It's a traitorous weapon.
It's a traitor's weapon though.
It's a traitorous
Would
weapon.
you wield it? That was the big question.
No.
Yeah, no.
Would you wield it?
She puts it back. She's like, no.
Whatever you want, it's just collecting dust around here.
Now,
Why are you giving us all this stuff?
Well, you're gonna go fight the thing at the tree, right?
Yeah.
I want it dead. But I can't leave here, otherwise that thing might come into my grove, and then I'd have to deal with it when I got back.
So
That and I can't exactly concentrate on too many things at once.
So what's the other hammer?
the hammer. May I roll an Arcana on the hammer?
Sure.
Because I'm holding it currently. That's a 10.
No, you wouldn't know. This one feels more impressive than the other thing, though. You can tell that much. For
I
sure.
mean, I know what it is out of game, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it.
Anyway, I'm just going to
May I
leave
have a
the
look at it?
hut
Yes.
and just
Oh, hang
say, small druid who likes herbs, what are these? Metal.
Ah,
what?
those ogre-like gloves, yeah.
You guys use such big words.
Gloves of ogre power, apparently.
Do I know what an ogre is?
You would know what an ogre is, yes.
Alright.
I'll give you that. You would know what an ogre is.
So I hold it out for you so you can arcana it.
Okay.
You just
Nope. I know shit all.
little man, what is this?
Small man, what is this one?
And he'll be the one to hold up the hammer.
So stupid.
Oh, that. Yeah, the King of Dwarves came by here once. Wanted me to hold onto that item as this whole thing was in turmoil. It's a national treasure to them or something, I don't know.
Who are you?
Do you just collect random stuff?
Random.
Hey, when literally 10 years goes by in a blink of an eye for you, you collect many things.
This is just an episode of Hoarders.
I'm gonna try rolling arcana again. That's at 11. That's not much better.
No.
No, I'm not even gonna bother with the magic.
I've been in this grove for 100 years.
Lizard
Give me
man.
a break.
Lizard man. Do you know what this is? And he's gonna hold up the thing.
Small
Yeah.
female.
Wow.
Another derogatory term.
She holds out the book and says, "You hold it. I do not trust the men.
I grab the
What's your
This is too
alignment?
important."
neutral good.
Then you're fine. Even though it's in the book, you kind of
Yeah,
feel a little bit
no,
more at ease with this thing around for some weird reason.
I
I
kind of like
know what
look
it
at
is.
it. It's like, okay.
He says, "Oh, you need that to get into the temple thing,
What wait, what eliminate?
or at least the way that will get you up there
Ah,
immediately."
okay.
I don't know.
You're gonna be like, you're the only cleric here.
Okay, well, guess I'll hold on to this.
Small lady woman. Do you know what this is? And he's gonna hold up the hammer.
Why am I the small lady? I'm not that small.
She's big.
Andromache's standing beside you at like probably like 7.5 feet.
Michael, I rolled a 17 on the arcana from my
You are the
perspective.
small woman.
Now, considering you're
Do you know
all
what
about
this is?
slaying things, what's your favorite creatures?
My favorite enemies are giant,
Then that's enough.
fae, and undead.
You get the feeling that this looks to be sort of one of the dwarven treasures of this world. The face of... Are you doing the hammer that they're pointing at right now?
Yeah.
Its angry dwarven face and everything just sort of looks at you with the pommel. You sort of get the feeling that you know that it's something called a hammer of thunderbolts, and that it's ridiculously rare to even get your hands on one of these things.
Yep. So probably. So.
But you also
you see
know-
a shadow appear out of the forest, and it's the guy that you don't know. He just appears, and he says, he tells you what that is.
You introduce yourself.
You also know you need to have a giant...
You can use it without that, and it's just.
You also know you need the ogre strength gauntlet so to attune to this item, however.
And you also need a belt of strong strength.
Yep.
Of any variety.
Yep, you need both of those things in order to be able to even use
Well, I'll
this.
just inform that to you.
To
then.
use the other bit.
I'll just,
Otherwise, it's just a +3 more.
I'll just tell you that knowledge that I learned to everyone.
Yeah, but it's just a +1 more.
+1 is +3.
Yeah, you get a +1 bonus attack and
Oh, I
damage
thought
rolls
it
made with this weapon.
was +3.
However, you must be wearing a belt of giant strength, any variety, and a gauntlet of gauntlets of ogre power to attune to this weapon.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you don't need to attune to it for the +1. It's the other thing.
Yeah.
That it has. That's blah, 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 blah. And again, that's Giant's Bane, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, no, traitorous fucking weapon. Traitorous weapon.
Yeah.
It is the weapon of traitors. It must not be trusted. This he just has this collection of giant slaying weapons.
Why does...
Because I know what the other axe is. The axe is a fucking... It's a giant slayer.
Maybe he's telling you all something, I don't know.
Is the boss is this boss a fucking storm giant? I doubt it.
No. This is all just items that I was going to give him anyway, so I'm like, here you go.
Fair enough, but you have 2 giant... I don't think you were accounting for 2 giant kin in the party.
No, I was not.
Yeah, no.
I
Just like-
forgot
just
about
like-
your
it's
thing
just
being a
like-
giant.
It's just like... It's like,
He's a giant too.
I am offended.
I only wear this belt out of respect for my kin. those weapons are weapons of heretics and traitors.
I can't.
The gauntlets are okay.
The gauntlets are okay.
The gauntlets are okay.
It's the hammer.
The weapons are offensive.
The weapons are offensive. Both of them.
I can't.
Actually,
Is it a mace?
gauntlets of overpower. No, it's a maul.
Oh,
The
I can't
maul.
use that.
the hammer is a maul, and the axe is a great axe, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely can't use
The
those.
gauntlets of
The only one
overpower,
that can
that's
use them
19,
is
yes.
The ranger.
The thing makes it 19 unless it's higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both Andromache and I have no use for any of these items, so you can split them up amongst yourselves.
I can't use.
They're metal as well.
Yeah.
I can't use them.
I can't use the gauntlets.
You
The
can-
gauntlets.
you-
Oh,
The
I
gauntlets you can use. The gauntlets you couldn't wear the gauntlets, but he could wear the gauntlets and he would get a lot of use out of them.
what do the
gauntlets
gauntlets
do?
do?
At a game, the gauntlets make your strength 19 unless it's already higher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
then,
mine-
So
then
it's-
I can use it.
Yeah. Oh well, then yeah, both of you could use it.
Yeah, I'm already wearing them.
Yeah, I'll let you
Gauntlets,
take
there you
them.
go.
I'm not a tanky ranger. I
Well,
just
it's not
have
really
strength.
tanky. It's for
It's
your
just a
damage.
strength increase.
For your damage, it's a strength increase. As for the hammer and the axe,
I can't use any of them.
there's not really any point of using either of those.
No.
Oh, I mean, actually, you can use it. You just don't want to attune to it because it's just a +1 ball. Otherwise,
Andromache wouldn't even
look at it.
look at it. She wouldn't even
Yeah.
carry it around if with that history on it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, no. It's a two
She
giant.
is very proud of her lineage.
Oh yeah.
Very proud.
As is the vanquished. Like that is a weapon of traitors and heretics. That's disgusting. Get it out of my sight immediately.
Well, whatever you guys want to do, it's up to you with the
Yeah,
weapons.
let's just keep going.
Yeah.
So, which direction did he say that?
To the waterfall.
To
That
the
way.
right. To the right.
Yeah. All right.
That way.
Wait, hold on. What martial weapon proficiency? Do you have any martial weapon proficiency, or is it just
I have
particular
clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears.
ones? Okay, yeah, no,
I
you
don't know
don't.
my volley guide once.
Yeah, that's what
She
I-
doesn't even have all the
'Cause I had
simple
it.
weapons.
I had it earlier
Yeah.
tonight, but
So
What are you looking
Here.
for?
Volo guide.
Volo guide.
I have it.
Yeah,
Need
there's oh wait, no, you got Xanathars on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I got Adam's Xanathars.
Thank you.
It'll be here somewhere.
Either way, we'll deal with that after.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I kind of need this for.
Like thematically.
Well,
I
you're
would-
already borrowing my DM screen, so
Yeah, fair enough.
Like no, like Hawk will not take the weapons. He travels light
And
because he's sort of based off the witches.
Yeah.
yeah, no one knew.
So I'm assuming if no one's taking them, he goes, "That's fine. Just the exit's to the right over there."
Thank you, small man.
Yes, we shall
So,
go in.
do we want to spend time to it so you can attune to your thing?
Yeah,
Well, I can do that on a short
I believe they are
rest.
Short
achievements, so yeah, short rest.
yeah.
Spend it.
Do I actually want to spend hit dice?
I'm going to.
Yeah,
Doesn't
actually.
matter.
But
I
yeah,
am
I
going
have a
to,
nice
so-
conversation with the druid about
That's
the
right.
forest.
I'll just
Nothing
be
in particular, just generally talking about.
He'll tell you about all the
forest
plants and
small talk.
everything and the nature of the
28.
forest. He'll like the actual fauna
34.
of the place.
Yeah.
Not his plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just be keeping watch around, keeping vigil and
No.
silent.
Just like swapping information as druids, because I imagine it's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
is what I know.
Okay.
Let me learn what you know.
So yeah, you probably would have done your exchanges and everything.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
It's 9 o'clock.
That's
already,
why I'm
so
sort
we're
of
gonna
going.
want to
Yeah,
move
okay.
this along.
And then
Yeah.
let's
so
go.
he points to he points to the right and goes, "That's the way."
Yeah. Let's just go that way.
Go through.
Do you want to go in stealthy or not?
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'll burn another spell slot for pass electronics from everyone.
Then 24.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
31.
28.
24.
Okay, that is 28.
And that is
Okay.
36.
So you all easily make it, and unlike the other areas where it would just be sort of a four-way looking kind of room, you notice you actually make it sort of what looks to be more of an actual massive open clearing. It looks less hazy in terms of the actual atmosphere itself. You notice a waterfall essentially sort of up to your, right in front of you, and a staircase that seems to be etched in the very rocks that it's cascading down.
I'll do a
See,
quick.
You
yeah.
notice
Scan.
when you look a bit more, it goes into what looks to be a wooden tunnel, which you can assume was carved into the tree itself, and the climb is quite high up.
I'll go a quick perception check around the area.
Have a quick look.
Sure.
See,
Just
I will also-
scouting.
18.
When
Go.
you,
that was a nat 20.
you'll get this, son.
Yeah.
You look up
18.
and you notice that while down here looks very clear, when you look up a bit more, even past camera, you can see this. There's a lot of like.
And 15 for me.
It feels much more dark up there.
There's something
Foul.
dark and
There's
foul and
scum.
disgusting.
There is the center of the corruption.
Okay.
And even though you're not someone who's like a paladin, you can feel it's just like an innate sort of.
I reckon
Well, I am
you and I would
connected
feel
with
the
nature.
corruption.
You
We're both
feel-
very
We-
attuned
we-
to the
You
forest.
feel something
Yeah.
very similar to like the undead in this area, like, you know, that especially that big huge thing. It feels very similar, but you can tell the thing up there is very much more of an
Unnatural.
issue.
Which
Yes.
is why we should climb the stairs.
There
Well,
are
I do,
unnatural
Punch
elements.
it till it dies.
We must
Again.
Must go.
My profession.
Yes, we should climb. We'll go up there and climb up. Keep and climb.
So
Going up the stairs, I should go to climb up the cliff.
you're gonna climb up the cliff?
Stairs.
Oh wow, you can climb up.
No, I was just saying, do you want to go up the stairs or want to go up the cliff?
It'd be
Take
probably
the
better to
Because
go.
if it
The
goes
stairs.
the stairs, because they could be expecting us, and there could be an ambush. Or
Well, do you
we
want to
can go
climb
in.
up the cliff first?
Well, to be fair, there
How
can't
tall's
be
the
an
cliff?
ambush because it's literally around the outside of a tree.
But, you know, but,
And
when you
what-
go into the tree is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
But we had to go into the tree anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing it's in the middle of the tree.
Andromache starts walking.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm also going to
let's
She
walk
just starts
let's
walking.
Just take the stairs.
stairs.
It takes you a good half an hour to climb up. It's a big staircase.
I am not fussed at all.
So when you finally make it up to the top, you notice that you're on this massive branch of this tree. There looks to be about 300 by 300 platform at the very end.
Jesus Christ.
And you notice a few sort of like blue looking kind of patterns on this, like, you know, sort of big stone kind of platform.
I'm gonna try Arcana, see if they're like certain glyphs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Arcana is appalling for me.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
That's a 16.
There are a lot of magic coming
It's
from
a
those
2.
particular markings on the floor, but it feels more like feels more similar to what you'd think of transportation circle and that sort of
It's
thing.
so it's very
Teleportation circle and that sort of thing.
This is probably where they're being summoned in.
Yeah. Does it the type of magic, does it feel fey based or undead?
Of those glyphs, fey based.
It is fey based.
But with that thing though, you do notice there's a cloaked figure quite, you know, towards the center of this area where the actual glyphs are.
Yeah.
And you can't see any features of this thing yet.
You!
Oh god. I was about to whisper something like
I challenge
So
you!
it's sort of like on the staircase, sort of, and then there's the platform,
just
right?
like
Yeah.
we're just like
And just on the
peeking
staircase.
over.
But you do notice that you can look to the side, but you notice you are far above the actual other trees of this forest. It is actually quite
Yeah.
clear up
Bring
here.
it, beat
Yeah,
Oh,
don't.
is there any place to like hide?
No, because someone
Oh,
yelled,
And
"Hey,
I'll
Andromache-
step back
Andromache walks
before it
back.
before it turns around. I'll step back a few steps so that
I duck behind the
Because
stairs.
Andromache just
If you want
headed
to
straight
get
up
back
the
to her
stairs.
stairs, you
Yeah.
can, sure.
I just got a bonus
That's-
action vanish again.
Sure.
Yep.
Just like hide down the
Ninja.
staircase.
I'm also going to walk with Andromache because because that's what we do.
Fair enough.
We
So,
barbarians.
You're going to walk forward,
like-
are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peeking through the
So
stairs.
you
I'm
walk
just
forward,
like shaking
so
my
you're
head.
about, how far away do you want to be from this thing before
Well,
you...
we're probably only... Andromache probably only steps about 5 foot forward from the stairs.
Yeah. Same thing.
You sort of just... You two sort of hear... I wondered what that was back there.
What was back where?
Wow.
I mean, you get rid of my corpse flowers. You get rid of that Draco Lich I had set up here.
They were weak, puny.
Then why don't you come forward and we can have something more...
Conversation.
We have more conversation.
We have come all this way. How about you come to us?
So it sort of turns around and it comes towards you. But as it gets closer, you actually notice what looks to be like white-looking tentacles coming from its
Oh,
mouth.
I know what
Shit.
it is now.
And it's got like a blackish robe and gnarled hands.
Oh god.
I'm just trying to remember what this is.
I know what it is.
I
I
know
don't
what
want
it
to know
is
what
too.
it is. It's terrifying.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
And
Damn you, Michael.
with a muffled sort of voice, it actually speaks out of his mouth rather hoarsely because it's not very used to speaking in that traditional sense. It goes, I was afraid I would have to come to you, but it seems you've come to me.
I've got my halberd out and I'm like, I challenge you for the health of this forest.
Alone.
Not alone.
I've disappeared.
Yeah, we're three of us.
She
are
says,
hiding.
with whomever wishes to help.
Very well.
In other words, you three get the fuck out of here and help us.
I have plans.
We're
I
not
have-
going to let you fight that thing on your own.
Mind flail.
Something worse than that.
Something worse than a mind flayer.
Whoever
I
said that's
agree.
funny.
So roll.
I wish.
So roll initiative.
Oh
Alright.
yeah.
Ooh, it's pretty good this time.
Natural fucking 20.
Alright.
My God.
So that's an unnatural 20.
That's a natural.
I got
20.
an
So natural-
18.
so
Well done.
21.
I finally rolled above 10 for initiative.
Allow me to get my monster manual open because I'm going to need both of them for this one.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay,
would.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, this is gonna.
My dice don't like my initiatives.
Yeah.
16.
I've
Yeah.
been having that trouble
That's
all
so
night.
I have
That's the highest I've rolled this
had
entire
a
thing.
feeling that Gavin knows exactly what I'm about to throw at you as well as Ben.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I got.
I have a feeling
I
no.
know.
I looked through it like I was thinking of throwing one of those on Tuesdays, but I chose the Arcanist instead.
Mm.
Or throwing one. Well, so see, throwing one of those, the normal version would be fine. Throwing the variant version, which is the one that he's probably using, would be bad
Mm.
because that on its own
Just
is.
written on the sheet.
I used the Mind Flayer Arcanist on Tuesdays.
Yeah, no.
Well, considering we had 2 downs. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. I'm excited.
Of course you are.
Thanks, Talia.
Who got a 20 or over?
I got a 20.
Nat 20?
No, not Nat.
I got an natural 20.
Okay, Gavin, you can go first.
Yay!
So,
Again.
You impatient motherfucker.
I
Alright.
am impatient.
what did you get?
I got
Although that's the problem character.
19 plus 1. So
I need
20.
to play that character.
It will go next. Then we have Jessica. Alright, who is 19 to 15? Anyone?
I got,
I got
an
16.
18.
17.
So, Emma.
I'm still last.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
we-
a
we-
higher
we-
roll than last
We
time.
all got better.
At least it's double digits this
Yeah.
time.
The thing
Alright.
is, you have the highest
Gavin.
initiative modifier.
No, I got a plus 3.
Gavin.
How far is it away from
Plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 2.
The dice don't
Because
like
it
my
came close
initiative.
enough
Thing.
to be able to talk,
Thank you.
I'll say it is
Yay.
I've
about
been gifted by the quanogram.
30
by
feet
my
away,
family.
Gavin.
30 feet? Okay.
As close enough so you can actually see it.
I rolled above a 10 for initiative.
Congratulations.
You will be crushed in the name of Tempest. Bonus action, I would like to rage.
Of course.
Damn it.
What happened?
He's raging.
I'm raging.
No, just before that,
Oh, I said, my character said, in the name of
Ah.
Tempest, you shall be crushed.
Right.
And, he is gonna move up to this thing. And he's... shall I... no. Next turn I shall do that. Because you'll all actually be able to use that. So that is a 32 to hit.
32 hit. Yep, you hit.
32 to hit.
32. Yep, you hit
And a
it.
31 to hit.
You hit both.
Okay, so that's 2d. What's a d6? 3, 10, 20, 30, 33, 36, 37, 44 points of damage as I punch it twice.
44.
In its stupid,
Sheesh.
tentacly, groveled up face.
Ooh. Oh, that's indeed horrible. But now it's its turn.
It is its turn. That's okay.
So it's going to move forward.
Sure.
Actually, no, it won't move forward. It'll move backwards. It sees that all of you are within 60 feet of it,
It's gonna mind ball.
and it's going to do something called Mind Blast. So everyone roll me an intelligence save.
Does that get the stop?
Oh fuck.
Alright.
Is that me as well?
16.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
19.
So 16.
24.
So intelligence save.
Yep.
Int save. I'm not good at hit saves. I'm
No,
not good
neither
at
am I.
any mental save, but
You can do it.
I got a nat 19.
Okay. Everyone who got below an 18.
Fuck.
I did not! I have an int of 11 and I got above an 18!
I got a 5.
Ooh boy.
You guys take 27 points of psychic damage. And
One thing I'm not
are
resistant to.
stunned.
Of course.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep,
And how
that's...
long does that last?
A minute.
Yeah.
Is it half
Alright,
on a sorry?
can I
okay.
borrow your eraser,
So
Emma?
much is the 22?
No, it's
7.
all.
Oh, so it's just...
Oh. Ah.
So you don't take the damage if you passed, and you don't take the stun. But those who did take the
Okay.
damage and are stunned.
Okay.
What was the
Yep, so
damage again?
it's save
27.
or nothing.
Yeah.
Save for nothing. Okay.
But it's the stun part.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Stun
you guys
from
can.
it.
But you guys can make that saving throw at the end of each of your turns. So.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, you can repeat it.
I can
Break
free
Damn it.
people.
And
Yeah, you can.
DC what,
I
18?
can free
Yes.
people.
Out of my range.
Freedom
Lesser
of, freedom
rest-
of movement.
That's not gonna happen. I've got
lesser
0
restoration
intelligence.
And greater restoration, so.
Yeah, I believe it's lesser might do it for stun. If not, then you'll have to use greater.
No,
Yeah,
I
use
will
greater.
have to use greater.
And after that, it is going to. That's its turn because essentially I've already moved and
Yeah.
everything for it.
Save.
So then who was it next?
Next, it will be Jess.
Neither of them
So,
mentioned stun.
I'm stunned. I can't do anything
You
besides
make
make
the
the
save
save again.
You make the save.
It's a 16 again.
You're still stunned.
They're gonna be
Yeah.
stunned. They're gonna be stunned for most of the battle, because
Oh, my
Flat
int is
roll.
0.
yeah, flat roll.
Mm-hmm.
Both use flat rolls.
All of us are.
All of you are.
No.
I got lucky, so those three are gonna be stunned.
I have a
for-
+7 on my int, which is why I passed. So.
Yeah, no, I do not have int save. I just got
Emma!
really lucky.
Your turn.
Greater
Um,
resto, greater
Would,
resto
would a lesser or greater be required?
to free them
To
from
free
the stun.
I think that is.
Let me just have a. Does it say? Do any of them say stunned?
Neither of them mentioned stunned.
So, neither.
Neither.
Wait, hold on. Greater restoration.
Yep. Says one effect that charmed or petrified the target. The other one, the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or
Yeah, it's
poisoned.
not. You can't
Nope.
be stunned.
Nope.
You
No.
can't use lesser or greater restoration to
Restoration to
remove.
freedom.
Stunned.
New.
Dang, I don't have freedom of movement either. I didn't take it. So,
I
did
have it.
Take it. So did I.
So,
But I'm stunned.
Yeah.
I can't do anything to the...
So freedom of movement.
that doesn't end stunned though.
You don't know.
It stops grapple.
Should
Oh, yeah, it stops
I-
grapple and restrain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna...
So
Should I do that?
three characters just got locked out of the battle unless they can roll.
We
anything
have
higher.
every turn 15% chance of
How
ending it.
far away
Like
from it is it?
And the stun doesn't end when they get attacked either.
How far away from us?
Actually, no, 20.
3 out of 20.
How
Yeah,
far away from us
so-
is it?
A 3 in 20 chance.
I said before, since it's moved back now, I'm going to say that it would have taken its movement, which is
I was like right on top of it, so
30 feet. So it's going to be a good, I'll say 50 feet away from you at this point.
50 feet away.
Yes.
I'm gonna say I can probably. It's either that or this other one I'm looking at, and I can do one or the other. So I might as well do that. But I could also do that.
hold on.
Both are concentration. So I'm gonna do this one first.
Yep.
So I'm going to cast.
You
So-
can't. Oh, pardon me. You can't do that one because it has a casting time of.
Oh, it does too.
Yep. So just do the.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
even
Conjure
notice that.
Elemental is
So-
actually really bad.
Yeah.
Because you cast it outside of combat with the 1 minute that it takes to cast, and the DM's like, okay, your hour's up. Elemental poofs. And you cast it, and you can't cast it in combat because it has a casting time of 1 minute.
I would have argued.
Isn't there a spell that you can? Was it?
I would
kind
have
of
argued, Gavin.
binding or something?
And I'm not giving crap to anyone here. I would have argued that if someone didn't yell out, "Come fight me," you could have taken the minute to
Yeah,
quickly
anyway.
summon it and be done.
Oh yeah,
So- I'm going to kind of poke up, and be like, "Hi, Sunbeam,"
Sure.
because it wouldn't have seen me yet.
What did you see?
Did we have +1 stuff, or was it
+1.
+1.
+1 stuff? Yeah. So DC 19.
It passes, but it'll still take that damage because it has magic
wait.
It has
resistance.
disadvantage.
It is disadvantage because it's.
Oh, it'd be neutral then because
Yep.
it has advantage because it has the magic resistance too.
Oh, okay. Yep. Then it'll just be
Yeah, it still passes.
Okay.
I rolled it then just to be fair.
So it takes. Can I have a D8?
You can have a D8.
Okay.
My 1d8 because the other d8 from my other set, my blue set, has gone
That's
missing.
not bad. Not bad. 19 halved down to
It's more than that. It's 20, 29.
29. Sorry, not
So
19.
14. 14 damage.
14 damage.
Yep.
That one's yours. So yeah, so 14 damage. So I poke my head up and go, "Hi."
Although you're still concentrating on some next damage. Laser beam. Laser beam.
Yeah.
Laser beam.
I basically just keep doing that. So
How much
and-
damage?
So it was 29 all up. So
14 radiant
because
damage.
it saved.
Still pretty good. Still pretty good.
I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna punch it
used-
nice and fucking hard and it's
Is
stupid.
that all you can do, Emma?
That is all I'm going to do.
Adam.
Okay.
Save.
Nope, still stunned.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
great.
guessing it's Benson.
Ben.
Do it.
Yeah, no, 3 characters are going to be locked out of this battle because it said they have a 3 in 20 chance of getting out of the stun all 1 minute, which is 10 rounds. So it's just you would be against the world.
That is 15.
We could do it.
I'm going to argue from now on, if someone wants to use that reaction, I'm going to let them give someone else advantage on that stun.
Okay.
So if someone wants to help Ben here a bit as a reaction, which I'd probably suggest Gavin, because it's your turn next anyway.
Yeah, I will do that. So
Alright.
I'll
Roll with advantage.
yeah, I'll let you roll.
Just so
again.
not everyone's not out of the battle.
Yeah,
I do
log
that
out for the battle. No, that's fair. That's fair enough. In fact, that's a good call.
12. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Sure.
So it'll be, what is it?
It's a DC 18, so
Yeah, but I need to roll it. So it's 12 and it'll be it's a D6.
inspiration is just +5.
So roll again. I'd actually probably do it for you.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, roll again.
No.
No.
8.
Okay.
So it's now my turn.
Gavin.
It's 30 feet away from me.
Yeah.
It's probably trying to lure me.
Sure.
Like I'm 90% sure that's what it's doing.
But you're the guy who goes out and whacks things, though.
Well, do you know what else I do?
What?
I throw javelins at it.
Okay. Gavin, quick question. Did I give you... I said you guys could have a weapon that was +1.
It's not +1. They're just normal javelins.
Okay.
It's just part of your basic
They're just
gear
part of
that you
basic
get.
gear.
Sure, go for it.
So I'm going to take it. But well, I mean, I have the movement, so I could go and. No, fuck it. I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna punch him.
Go for it.
17. So it's a 32.
Yep, that'll hit.
huge DC.
That's a 34.
Yep. Roll your damage.
2, 9, 19, 29, 32, 35, 36, 43 points of damage. I had to slam it up twice.
Yeah, it's not looking happy.
And you know what I'm going to do to help you guys out? As a bonus action, I'm going to use my Zealous Presence. I choose 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You all hear this. He lets out this massive battle cry. You guys gain advantage on all attacks and saves until the start of my next turn.
Oh,
Okay, so
yes.
as one of its legendary actions,
Still pretty hard to get. Again, plus 0.
it is going to. Its tentacles on its mouth above its flap are going to.
He's going to make an tentacle attack against me.
No.
Not that particularly.
No.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we'll do one tentacle attack at you.
Okay.
What's your AC?
15.
Oh, it'll hit you with. It'll definitely hit you because there's a +12 to hit. So.
Oh yeah, no, it will. Okay. That's my self-defense.
And also make me an intelligence save throw.
Ew, that's not good.
You take 21 points of psychic damage.
Use my fanatical focus. It's a 14. As for the 21, I'm going to use my reaction to Stone's Endurance. So that'll be 4 and 4. So I reduce by 8, which will be make me take 13 points instead.
You are.
Wait, is that bludgeoning, piercing, slashing?
It just says psychic damage.
Oh, is it just psychic?
Psychic
Okay.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm grappled by it then?
You are stunned
You're actually
by
stunned.
I'm stunned.
Yep.
Oh,
Mind players do that.
Hey guys.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, I would've
we
selected
still
myself
have
too, so-
advantage from that yell.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
A TPK
What did
is
you
occurring. Get some
What's up?
frickin'
What did
mind
you
players.
They just let out this.
It's like,
I didn't
comrades
want
with
there to be a
me,
hiding council of
destroy
Rothman, didn't
this
I?
Yeah.
Worse.
It's frickin' hell.
Alright. It's the mind player's turn.
It's gonna try and
Eat your brain.
eat my
I'm
brain.
still at the stairs.
Yeah?
So wait, hold on. Oh well, it has to come up and grapple me first before it can.
Incapacitated.
Oh, incapacitate. Yep. So
Humanoid, so it hits you with a. It hits you definitely with a
That's annoying.
21,
yeah, that'll hit.
and it's 10d10 damage.
Jesus.
Yes, it's gonna hurt. I also use my Stone's Endurance, so that's.
If I can do that, that'd be awesome, but I don't think it's gonna work.
It's plus 13.
You take 50 points of psychic damage, it just
Jesus.
smacks you.
Ah.
You need
Ouch.
healing, man.
Well,
Wait a minute. I don't think you can use your Stone's Endurance if you are stunned because you can't.
Oh no, I
If he's
used
still in a
I
range.
used it for the
He used it
for
to
the
half.
for the
Yeah.
attack that
Yeah.
stunned me in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, Stone's Endurance.
And
No,
it's-
it's once per short rest. Whenever I take damage,
and
I
it's
can use my
Jessica's
reaction.
turn.
So it's I couldn't.
It's
do that
are you
because-
gonna try helping?
Oh,
Yeah.
because I'm incapacitated.
Because you're next.
She's already got
I've already
Yeah,
got advantage
go
because of the
for
yell.
Battle cry.
No. That's a 5 and an 8.
Okay.
Guys,
Emma.
Yeah.
me against the wall.
It's probably gonna kill me now.
Your turn.
So yeah, I'm gonna move so that I'm like.
So you're not hitting me.
How far away?
You still got
is
your
it?
sun. You can put your sunbeam on it because you still have it. Technically.
What level is this being played at?
15.
15.
Um,
Getting killed by a mind flayer. It's ridiculous.
That's not just
Wait,
any
it's
mind
Alhoon.
flayer
It's
though.
Alhoon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what I
Just
want to do.
Just move and sunbeam.
Cause I
just-
can get you out of there, but
Sunbeam it.
How can you get me out of there?
sneaky with my what's it called? Hidden pass. I can use an action to.
It can move up to me and I'm still stuck.
Hey Emma,
I can move you 30 feet.
quick question.
Hmm?
This is just a thing to. How far away are you from it?
I'm still at the stairs.
Do you still have certain items on you by any chance?
Which
Oh, the book.
Yeah, do you still have
Yeah.
the book?
I put it in my bag.
Okay.
Why?
Might want to use it.
Might want to use it.
Oh yeah.
So well, I mean, it's an app. Would it say? Would you allow a bonus action to throw the book at it?
Sure.
How far away from me is it?
Just fucking do it.
How far away is it?
I'll say it's about 50 feet away from you, but if you move your movement speed in front, you'll be about 20 feet away, which would give you a decent chance of throwing this book.
Smack it with the book.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and but move so that I'm if I wanted to use my sunbeam, I'm not gonna hit him.
Yeah.
And first I'm gonna throw the book at it.
Yep, roll the hit.
This is gonna be fun.
I'll let you use your dex for this one.
Okay. My -1 strength. I don't think I'm
You
proficient
just
in books.
frisbee the book.
Yeah, it's an
Oh.
improvised weapon.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, that'll hit. I'll let that hit.
I hit it with the book.
Alright,
How much am I rolling?
you are rolling. I'll get it out now.
What type of dice?
I gave you guys that thing for
It's,
a reason.
Isn't it?
It's evil, yes.
I have to ask if it's an amulet of.
It's. I know what it. I know what it is.
Yeah,
I know what it
I'm
is.
right.
Michael, is it evil?
Ouch!
It is evil.
Ouch!
It's 8d6.
Yeah, it's evil.
I
Is it-
feel
is it-
sorry for this creature
I
suddenly.
need 3d6.
I have 2,
I need one more. There you go.
and I will need those d6s back because I.
All the ones.
That's it.
I gave this to one of my party members in
Damn it, Tom.
my Sunday campaign.
That's another 10.
It is great.
He put
The
on.
amount
He
of
put it on his
damage.
longsword.
That's
He's a paladin.
so
Wielding this
that
item,
is
that is
10, 13,
29.
29. Yeah.
29 points.
Yeah.
29 points.
Let me check really quick.
Because that would have been my action and
Sorry.
Was
Bonus
that-
action.
that was my was it my bonus action?
Bonus action was to throw the book. You had, and you
So I
moved.
still have an action?
You have an action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still sunbeam it.
Sunbeam.
Now, the thing is, because I'm pretty sure you guys had heard it a great deal, all I'm going to ask is because of its HP die usually. How do you want to do this?
Oh.
Can I run up to it and sunbeam it in the face?
Sure. So as this thing just gives out this massive psychic scream and it reels, you see it burning, bubbling, gooping as it just turns to sludge.
I 1v1 to freaking
You
life.
1v1 an Alhoon and won.
That's awesome.
So,
Is there anything? Is there anything else around? Because you did say you did both the monster manual as well.
I need both of them for this variant.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's the because you were doing the. Yeah.
So, what happens is, you notice that these circles, everything seems to clear, and it looks, and you sort of get the feeling that it feels more natural again and less taint.
Are we unstunned?
Yay.
You are all unstunned.
That's
Could they witness what I did?
no, we were stunned. We would have seen it.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
but,
You would've-
you would have seen it, you just can't move.
Yeah.
So,
You got like days.
you notice that one of the teleportation circles that looked to be a little bit funky when you first saw it, it lights up, and you notice guys that they're going, so you managed to do it. Thank you very much. That thing has been a pain in my crotch for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to help. Well, it,
I'm
doing bad things to the Feywild.
I'm going to punch the puddle as hard as I possibly can in my rage. Because it tried to eat my brain. I am not happy.
So,
What brain?
after being paid, you all go on your merry way and end of the one shot.
Yay!
Do they want to react to the fact that I killed?
Just lazy.
Andromache walks up to you and she says, "It is a shame you are no man.
The doctor of the tribe.
Thank you.
You should join our tribe. We would love to have strong blood with us."
I think I'm good. I've got kind of like my own sort of tribe to return to.
Very well.
My guy will walk up. You put his hand on his shoulder and says, "Well done, Bloodkin."
Thank you.
She then turns and walks up to the other Goliath and says, "You, me, now."
It's just like,
Sure.
We'll just close the curtains on that.
Yes.
And we'll close it there, guys.
Alright,
We got your wish.
Now,
Your goal.
see you next week. I won't, but everyone else will. So,
And they
thanks
go,
everyone.
Did we want to do Q&A again, or?
Yeah, we'll do it really quick. Does anybody have any questions for us? Thank you, Adam.
Here you go, Adam.
Stun locked.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh my god.
uh,
Someone commented on the things that you stream you a nomad. Someone said polymorph can fix that issue.
That's exactly right.
So, for the record, everyone, before we do it, the thing I was using was a variant of the one that you guys are talking about, except it's called a Illich or something like that. Illithid Lich, whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It uses a stat block box of the Lich, but uses that stuff there instead.
Yeah.
Now, the whole thing is, it's only got an AC of 17, but I'll let you hear because it wouldn't have been affecting a book. And,
It was
You hit
too
it
busy
with the
trying
book.
to suck
and
his
its
brain
HP is
out.
actually surprisingly pretty low for a creature of that high
Yeah.
DC.
It's just that stun lock. Oh my god.
yeah, no, that's the only thing that was the issue with that is the fact that it was you had a lot of low int characters versus
Yes.
the thing that
What
requires.
class was each person?
So I was a totem warrior barbarian.
I was a zealot barbarian,
I was a cleric with the nature domain.
nature cleric. There was a Circle of Dreams druid and a Monster Slayer ranger.
Yep. Monster Slayer Ranger.
They're all official stuff. So if you guys ever want to go look for it, most of it's in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Some of the races were in Vola's Guide to Monsters, and of course all the core classes are in Player's Handbook.
Yes.
Just buy all the supplements. All the supplements are good. Buy them.
It's expensive.
Support it.
like-
Support this game. It needs it.
That's an expensive
If you become
demand.
a nerd, you don't have
At this
money to
point,
buy
I
drugs.
don't think they need the support.
They need the support.
They need this.
Always.
Well, I mean,
So-
there are always ways to get PDFs.
So, any questions, anyone?
Oh my God.
Do we have any further questions from the chat?
Yeah, any further questions, Corner Grandma?
Not so far.
Well, give it a moment because
Yeah,
we
we'll give
did
it
say that they had slight buffering issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because we're not multi-streaming and we're only streaming at 720p,
Oh.
Yeah.
and they'll have.
This was being played at level 15, if you didn't hear it earlier.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it earlier.
Yeah, level 15.
I still can't just sim doggy. I just...
Yeah, no, it's
Sim
silent.
You remember like that one Simpsons episode where like Homer played like a third character on
Poochie.
Instant Scratch? Like that's
Poochie.
what it makes me think of.
It makes him think of Poochie. Okay.
Wow. But yes, next week we'll be missing Adam. We may be missing Michael, but we'll still be running.
We, like,
And I will be running under with the
Mountain.
mountains as my thing.
She's
That'll be
probably
should be
gonna drop a
interesting.
mountain on all of us. She's gonna
Should
drop a
be
mountain on all of us.
interesting.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
The end.
The end.
Might bring my
Death by
necromancer.
There are many things that I can do with this.
Might bring my necromancer.
Many things.
I've been in an RP chat before where like so many characters got crushed by rocks. That was just the thing.
Oh,
All
that's
the
right.
environmental shit
Oh, wow,
I can
we have-
throw at you guys.
Oh wow, we have that many.
Yeah.
We have that many viewers.
But yeah.
We have 9 viewers currently.
That's good.
Hey!
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Hello
you
to
guys. We
everyone.
appreciate the support so much.
Like
Yes.
every single one of you. You're
I
amazing.
need to play the Vanquisher in a longer
Yeah.
term campaign, I think.
Anyway, if that's all
Very
the
just
questions.
Yeah,
rated
is that-
and converted.
Oh
I
well.
know.
It's alright, we'll have to set it up like right at the beginning and like
Set up an
maybe-
actual poll.
Yeah, maybe set up an overlay for it too, yeah, and let people vote through a straw poll because that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I need to edit the layout anyway. So
you can be like, hey, click this here, it's the link that you can go to
To vote for your favorite character from this
vote
session.
for your favorite character.
Something to add.
You know what?
I am.
I just had an idea, and I reckon everyone might be down with my idea. What we should do is that
anyway, we'll
we should
We'll
we
discuss
should,
it
we should-
later.
discuss it later.
I'm gonna do a small stream test later on tonight to see if I can get my internet at home working so that I can do streaming
There
games.
is one vote.
Oh,
Who
okay.
won?
Jess.
Oh,
Yay!
Who voted for me?
Sim Doggy.
Simon.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
Simon.
Thank you, Simon.
Already drew up an award this week, so like later.
I got the award.
Yeah.
I'm the true winner. I rolled above a
$10 initiative.
Because that's an achievement here.
It
That is an achievement.
It really is.
When you
Um,
roll
so
a 4 and an 8 on the previous one.
It's it's
Hmm?
it's
So
20
we're done.
it's 20 to 10, so we should
So,
finish
yeah.
off.
Okay.
So we're
Bye,
wrapping up now,
guys.
guys. Thank you
we'll
so
s-
much.
Yep,
Thank you
and,
so much for tuning in.
And I know at the very least that Jess, Ben, Emma, and I will see you next week. Michael might be here too.
Maybe.
Next week.
At 6 p.m. Australian Eastern
Eastern
Standard
Standard
Time.
I'll make sure to get Emma to, convert to time zones for our overseas peeps, so they actually know in their own time zone what it's gonna be.
Guys, follow us on Twitter as well.
Yeah, follow us on-
Nerds
at-
Are Gathering.
At Nerds Are Gathering.
Yep.
We normally put up a post on Twitter when we're about to run. So keep an eye on there. I'm going to start posting. I think I'm going to start getting the Corner Gremlin actually to post in actual Twitch before we start to run. To say, yeah, we're about to run, guys. Come on, come join us.
Yeah.
Our corner gremlins and more things to do.
Four
But no, we'll see you here similar time next week for more Dungeons and Dragons one shots. Where we're gonna get another draw.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.